I'll call this Bang Bang. Seriously?
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up.
Bang, bang.
Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth calls Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand. Please state your name and spell your last name for the jury.
Michael Proctor, 𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗏.
You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
My name is Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtleboy.
Is a senior editor for Turtleboy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtleboy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You did not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do.
I know you do.
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never gonna stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Boys, go baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chopper be singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, turtle people? How's everyone out there doing today? Good? Good. Excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your fearless host. They call me, my name is Aidan Kearney. If you're unfamiliar, I got a bunch of aliases I go by. You can call me, Uncle Turtle Boy, old school turtle riders do that. You can call me Doctor. It's actually my preferred pronoun. So please respect it, if you will. Because if Jim Crosby gets to be a doctor during this trial, then I definitely am a doctor too. You can call me Daddy. I know that could be a little strange for some of you people, but some people like it, so I will allow it. You can call me 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗃. That's my true crime name. When I put my leather jacket on and I go deep in the woods and get my thoughts and solve murder mysteries. It's also my Facebook account name, which is back as of like 30 minutes ago. I got it back. I'm back on Facebook for 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗃. I was gone for a day. I'm back on there. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm up to like 6,000 friends. It's pretty cool. Not too shabby. So go follow that page if you haven't already on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to communicate with me is on Facebook. And yeah, I do a bus stop. I used to do a bus stop live, but I've been kicked off Facebook so much recently. It's been hard to. So maybe I'll do one tomorrow. We'll see. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. I'll tell you that much. So I got, I can't be in the courtroom for Jen's testimony because she's shock and horror. Oh, we're going to get to her today. Jesus Christ. God, isn't she just evil? Isn't she just the greatest villain of all time? She's just such a fake, and we all see right through her, don't we? I'm not very loud. You got people saying, is it quiet? Can you guys hear me okay? She's just evil. She's just demented, man. And you're listening to her today, and she's like up there talking about, oh yeah, just her whole, we're going to play it, but her whole act of, oh yeah, she mentioned the ages of her kids today. Oh yeah, I'm a mom. I'm a soccer mom. Oh, we lived in Canada my whole life. Oh, and we drive the kids to soccer practice. Oh yeah. She just creates this image like I am this fucking cookie cutter, everyday suburban housewife, and it's all part of the act. Like I am incapable of killing. That's the whole thing. I am incapable of this. Like, look at me. Oh, why would I ever do such a thing? Maybe because it was an accident and you didn't want Colin to go to jail. Maybe that's why. Probably. But yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna get to all that. You can call me Journalism Jesus. I don't give a shit what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp, and make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're also doing shows on Monday and Wednesdays as well during trial season. All right, during the trial, and we're also gonna, because every night it's just too much content. We got to do it every night. Recap the whole thing. I couldn't do 2 in one day. I couldn't do 2 days in one show. It's just too much. We got to do it every night. That's what all the other law tubers are doing. All the other grifters online are doing it. I can't be the only grifter that only does it Tuesdays and Saturdays. Then I'm like a day late, $1 short, on some of this stuff. So we got to stay on it. And you never know who they're going to throw at us. Like it could be more McAlberts this week after we're done with Jen. Oh my God. Did she really say that? Did Sue really say that she sounded relatable? Although, I think that's the whole, I think that's, that's what Jen was going for. It's all part of the act. It's all part of the act. And the key is going to be, will the jury find her relatable? We all see right through her, but we know her too well at this point, don't we? Anyway, so if you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class tonight, and I know we're competing with the Celtics, so keep me posted. I see it's 19-12 early on in the first quarter at home. Better not lose to this goddamn team at home. I mean, we're still favored, right? I'll keep an eye on the money line. What's the money line at right now? Let's see, because they win this one, we go on to the next round. We play the Knicks. I assume the Knicks are winning right now too. Let's see. Yeah, Knicks are losing 59-55. Yeah, Celtics are still minus 250. Okay, cool. So we should win this game. Let's just hold on, get through it. We'll be okay. I'm just assuming we're going to win. I don't really give a shit about it. To me, the playoffs don't start. As a Celtics fan, you know, our playoffs really don't start until the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, let's keep it a buck. We're like, you know, we're what the Patriots used to be in football, kind of what the Chiefs are now. Like, our season starts in the Eastern Conference Finals. And, you know, there's 3 teams in the NBA that can win it this year. It's either going to be Cleveland, Boston, or Oklahoma City. One of those teams is going to win it. No one else. So, you know, just get there. Well, let me know when it's time to go to Cleveland, and we'll be good. We'll be good. Because it ain't going to be anyone else but them. I mean, the Thunder are going to run train on the West. It's not even going to be close. They're going to fucking kill everyone. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right, cool. Anyway, if you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class, you guys can click at the link at the top for something called Turtle Chat. And you can give whatever amount of money you want or pay whatever amount of money you want. And then you write a message and I get that message and I read that message out loud to the class. Or you can cash at me at $Uncle and we can do it that way. Before we get started in reading some of these, though, I just want to remind people that Thursday night, I am going to be attending. There's remember that fundraiser at Toscano's in Peabody? It was like $100 a head for the Kearney Defense Fund. And it was temporarily, like, they were harassed. Remember that? And then they stood up to the mob and we were also proud of them. That's great. So I'm going to go to that for a bit. It's on Thursday, May 1st from 7 to 11. There are still some tickets available. And I will post later on after the show. I'll post a link to to it so you guys can buy tickets on there if you want. And I will be there. I'm just going to go for like the first hour because I got my son is with me. You know, bedtime and shit. So because my daughter's away for cheering all week in Florida with her mother. And so I'm just me and him. So, you know, I'm just going to take him with me for like an hour, 7 to 8, and then go home. But so it's in Peabody. It's at Toscano's. I think there's more than one Toscano's. So make sure you're going to the right one. Is there an address? Yeah. 139 Linfield Street, but you got to buy them on Eventbrite. And again, I'll post it later. It's in the Justice group on Facebook. So, you know, go do that. Okay, cool. Let me read some turtle chats here, shall we? Today is the 29th, right? Okay. All right. Let's start off with Wags sends $10 and goes, I hate Bev. Skanky can eat a bag of dicks. Free Karen and free Turtleboy. That is all. All right. Short and succinct and to the point. Thank you. CS Seep sends $20 and goes, a message to Hank as he's probably watching. You are the biggest little bitch I've ever encountered. Each sniveling an idiotic word out of your mouth viscerally disgusts me further. You, sir, are a huge pussy. P.S. Love you, Uncle Doctor. And I think that's what really makes him mad is that everybody likes me and nobody likes them. And I have a hearing tomorrow too in court. So I can't go into the Jennifer McCabe hearing. So I am going to watch it, but I'm going to make it a pit stop. I'll tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't want to announce it tomorrow morning, what I got planned. And then in the afternoon, I have my hearing at what time is my hearing? My hearing is at 2:00 and it's in the main courtroom right next to Kearney trial. So I'm going to be in the building. We're going to be going. We have a couple motions. We're going to be talking about hopefully this affidavit that the confidential informant wrote and litigating some of that, maybe getting that on the public record. We're also going to be talking about what else are we talking about? Getting some of these text messages unimpounded. We got to get through that. And apparently Cosgrove is not happy. I was told that he wants to address, let's see. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So apparently the fake victim is supposed to be arraigned tomorrow, but I guess it's been moved to 5/28. So she's not being arraigned tomorrow. She moved to 5/28. So I'll be in Dedham all day tomorrow. But I'm definitely going to go. I just can't go in the... Oh, I could just go and get my press pass and then get kicked out just in case Jen ends early. We'll see. Anyway, we'll find out what's going on. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be in the hearing. We got to litigate that. Oh, I was saying that Cosgrove apparently is not happy because he says that, let me see what he said. He said that he intends to do something about the comments I made about Tully and his family. So if he even starts some more shit about like revoking bail and shit, I mean, I am just so sick of this shit. I never once said that that I'm going to hurt Brian Tully or anything like that. Let me give you an analogy there, Cosgrove, because you're not even to understand this, how free speech works. I consider Brian Tully the equivalent of Hitler. Like, and that's not exaggeration. To me, he's Hitler. I hate him. Okay. He is evil personified. He frames innocent people for murder. He put me in jail for 60 days and he knew I didn't do anything. Like, he's evil personified. He's literally Hitler to me. Okay. And I don't care. Yeah, he didn't kill 6 million Jews. But to me, he's Hitler. He's my Hitler. Okay. And that's just what I'm going to call him. And so if you found out, Cosgrove, that Hitler died, wouldn't you be happy about that? That's all I was saying. I'd be happy if he died. You're allowed to be happy when people die. I was thrilled when Brian Riccio died. Thrilled. And these people would all be thrilled if I died. And it's just, I'm so sick of this disingenuous, pearl clutching bullshit that they keep bringing in front of judges. It's a fucking disgrace. And I want to get up and say something. I always want to tell my lawyer, sit this one down. I got this one today. Okay. I got this one today. I am sick of this shit. Here's the whole clip. Here's what I actually said. Enough of this bullshit. I have free speech rights. I have First Amendment rights, and I'm not going to, and you guys are just in here dicking around. You are making a disgrace and a mockery of this courtroom. This is supposed to be a serious place of justice where people who do bad things are held responsible. So anyway, yeah. All right. So what else was I going to say? Okay, cool. So that's that one. L sends $50 and goes, thoughts on Jennifer McCabe's sister, Denise, now being called by the defense, given Kerry Roberts' timeline testimony. What do you mean? Did they add her to the witness list? Is that true? Denise Galvin? Did I miss something? Oh, did Mello die? Like, that's the thing. It's like, I also said, I hope Mello dies. Like, I don't, I guess I'm not actively out here rooting for it every day, but if he died, I'm like, that guy fucking deserved it, you know? So what's this turtle chat about? Did somebody, is she really added to the witness list? You can't just add people. You got to add them to the witness list. You can't just call them out of nowhere. Yeah. You got to be on the list. So I don't think that's how it works, but all right, next up. So she helped make the timeline. I missed that. Okay. Next up is Kim sends $25, goes, you rock, wishing you all the best tomorrow. Well, thank you very much, Kim. And thank you. She's one of the organizers of the Peabody event. Thank you. L sends another $100 and goes, any lawyer switch ups you'd like to see cross-examine witnesses inside or outside 34 Fairview as well, Chris or Julie Albert? I don't understand the question, L. I appreciate the $100, but any lawyer switch ups you'd like to see cross-examine witnesses inside or outside of 34 Fairview, as well as Chris or Julie? I don't understand the question. So I'm going to have to pass on that one because I don't understand the question. So thank you. Paulie O'Queef sends $10, goes, oh my God, Jen McCabe, the compressions that Hanky slyly sewed into the web. She had clearly rehearsed and was told not to say frozen when describing what he felt like when he assisted in CPR in their ever-involving, carefully manipulated story. I know, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Thank you, Paulie. The Hill Peg Will Die On sends $10 and goes, Jen McCabe's examination and new fake personality was growing more obviously rehearsed by the minute. Bev was puppeteered toward the end and forced to pull the plug on the day because of it. Who made her read that bullshit Massachusetts Rules of Professional Conduct 1.15 off an index card? Who is her hidden hand? P.S. I made a turtle chat saying we need your skincare routine because you're glowing. It was a compliment. My skincare routine. Well, it's like I do have a light in there. It's like a bright light, you know. But yeah, if you believe that's skincare, okay. But I know I got a bunch of wrinkles, you know. I'm getting kind of old. We'll see. All right, next up. LG's Crusty Panties sends $5 and says, thank you for your wonderful YouTube presentation. Well, thank you. I'm happy to, LG's Crusty Panties, happy to help. Beck T sends $10, goes, thanks, Turtleboy. Free Karen, free you. Today was super cringe. Is that a thing still? It was super cringe. Ian shooting himself in the foot and Jen showing up with Botox, a spray tan, and a blowout did not soften her. She really did. She went all out and she got the tooth kind of half fixed. Her addition to her story are enlightening, to say the least. She is just pouring it on heavy. We're going to get to that. Lori sends $5, goes, email due today for Lotto. Well, it's too late now, but I did it earlier in the day. Thank you for the reminder. And thank you everyone who reminded me. Cannot wait for Cross tomorrow. It's going to be dope. I know Alan Jackson was like licking his lips today. Just, he can't fucking wait to go at her. Thank you. Heather sends $5 and goes, Jen McCabe is a diabolical bitch, but she won't be able to hide her hatred for Alan Jackson for long. I feel like a kid waiting for Santa. It's Christmas Eve. Yeah, she tried to do this whole, like, I'm on Prozac thing today. I'm so happy. And things, new and improved Jen. Because she realized, like, you know, last time she came across as an angry bitch with a chip on her shoulder. And so now she's going, this is like Prozac Jen. And it's going to come unraveled tomorrow when Alan Jackson gets his licks in. You know, it can only last so long till her true colors show. So thank you. Chloe Albert's Revenge sends $5, goes, I went to the pizza place in Canton with the mediocre chicken parm. It was only to use the bathroom, but midstream I heard a scratching noise. It noticed a hole in the wall. I peered in, and lo and behold, Jen McCabe staring up at me. I said, how long have you been there? And ran out. I didn't know they had a glory hole at D&E Pizza, but that's new to me. Potato Canoni sends $10, goes, Jen McCabe's tooth still be toothin'. She had a year to fix it and did nothing. No, bold move. She got it a little fixed. Somebody sent me a before and after of the Jen McTooth, and it was slightly. Let me see if I see the difference. Yeah. So check this out. This is the so this is last year. That's the tooth last year. The whole tooth. And then this is this year. She got it like half filled in. Like there's a little gap missing there a little bit. But yikes. Dude. I mean, she just looks like the tooth fairy just visited or some shit. Yikes, like a child. Okay. Next up. The turtle you know sends $5, goes, yo, is that a dry fit polo? I want one of these. Jen, it is. And I think it's in the, I think these are in the Turtleboy store still. So go get them while they're hot. Thank you. Kimberly sends $25, goes, Turtleboy, what a great motherfucking day. This is all because of you. You were meant to be the catalyst in this whole thing. Search for the truth and justice. You are so bold and courageous. Not anyone can be like you. So thank you. And I know this is only the beginning of your many successes. I can see you having your own reality show uncovering corruption. It would be a hit, especially with your 80% female population. God bless you and your family. My own reality show, huh? Yeah, I mean, maybe so. Maybe afterwards we do like a real world Turtleboy kind of thing. I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, who doesn't love a good licking? Stop it. Stop it. Okay, back to this. Lee from Plainville sends $10 and goes, you are doing awesome without you. You are doing awesome without you. Without you, the corruption wouldn't be heard this loud. I lived it from Tully, from fake victim, her protector. Also, I wish they tested Colin's fist for John's DNA in 2022. I wish they did a lot of things in 2022 that they didn't do, Lee, but thank you. Jody sends $10, goes, thank you for your mention of our fundraiser on Thursday at Toscana, Toscana, not Toscanos, Toscana, Forno. Going to be a great night. Free Karen Reed and Turtleboy. Well, thank you very much, Jody. Very appreciate that. Mandy sends $5, goes, did Jen throw Kerry under the bus today, saying she was the one in charge? I didn't really pick up on that, but maybe. Officer Jack Me Off sends $5 and says, is it a coincidence that Jen's testimony started at 2:27 today? That was wild, dude. You guys notice that? Her testimony started at 2:27? That's crazy. True story. Joanne sends $10, goes, shout out to Obach for all the amazing dolls she's made. My favorites are Alan Jackson and the one of you and Meredith at CF McCarthy's. You make me laugh and brighten my day. I have not seen that, but I'll have to check it out. Thank you, Joanne. Botox Beauty sends $10, goes, just ask Meredith what a skincare routine is and then tell her both of your hilarious alpha male responses. My responses? Okay. Well, I don't know. She does have nice skin. She has better skin than me. She's a little younger, but that's okay. Next up, Jimbo sends $10, goes, thank you for being willing to sacrifice your liberty to protect our rights. Free Karen Reed and free Turtleboy. My pleasure. I mean, I didn't want to sacrifice my liberty. That wasn't the plan. I didn't want to go to jail, but jail I went, and they would love to send me back there. So I'm just hoping this nightmare ends eventually. Thank you. Allah La Wit sends $5 and goes, did you notice Snaggletooth mentioned my other nephew, referring to someone in the house, aka Bang Bang? I did not, and I don't think she'd be dumb enough to mention Colin being in the house. Colin's also not her nephew. So that's actually a trivia question. She's not related to Colin Albert. They are no blood relations whatsoever. Remember, Colin's parents are Julie and Chris. Chris's brother is Brian. Brian is married to Nicole, who is Jen's sister. So they're not actually related. Next up, Leslie sends $25, goes, Jen was wearing Allie's shirt from last time. Was she really? The jury will see the hatred oozing from her pores and the smoke coming out of her huge nostrils tomorrow. I really wish I could be in court and see jury reactions. That's what sucks about not being in there. Like, this is the stuff you want to see. Tomorrow's the day you really want to see it too. Okay. Trevor sends $10, goes, what do you call a Nike with 5 men's DNA on it? Shoe cocky. Okay. I see what you did there, Trevor. Thank you. L sends $10, goes, clearing up my turtle chats. Would you want the defense to call the sister Denise now that we know she helped create the timeline? Sure. Why not? The lawyer switch up example, Jackson crossing Nagel instead, Alessi crossing Higgins, that type of thing. I think they got it right. Obviously, Alessi should be for the technical stuff. That's clearly what he's good at. He was perfect for Ian Whiffin. Perfect. He'll be great for, I'm sure, people like the dog guy, Jim Crosby, maybe this Judd the Chud guy, and people like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And Eliza always gets the doctors. Like, she'll get Dr. Rice. I'm sure she got him last time. You know, they all got to do. I don't know. Yannetti needs to get some stuff too. You know, he's great too. So we'll see. Okay. The Trial channel sends $5 and goes, Whiffin and Jen are up on the trial channel. Do it. Yeah, thank you. Good stuff. You passed 20,000 subs the other day. Nice job, sir or ma'am, whatever you are. Thank you. John sends $10 as Jen McCabe is going down along with her husband, Snack McCabe. We call him Chubbs around here. Chubbs McCabe. Thank you. Jody sends $10, goes, new nickname for Jen McCabe and her sister Denise are Skin and Bones. Okay. Grandpa Eclipse sends $5 and says, thanks for everything you do. And thanks for giving us a direct line to you. My pleasure, Grandpa Eclipse. Anything I can do to help. I really appreciate that. Okay. Let me read some turtle chats here on the Cash App. Katie sends $10, goes, there is a special place in hell for Jen McCabe. I'm glad we all agree on that. I'm glad that everybody who watches this knows how fucking evil she is. That just makes me happy. Makes me so happy. Holly sends $25, goes, Jen's body language. Jen. Oh my God. She was doing it again today. You're a lying bitch. She really is. I love how much women hate Jen McCabe. I just love it. How no matter where she goes the rest of her life, everyone's going to know exactly what she did. She's not fooling any of us. She's fooling some people, some stupid people, the police, and she's being protected by a lot of powerful people, but she is not fooling anyone. None of us, at least. Liznay sends $5, goes, Jen, bring the Holy Cross on your neck again tomorrow. You guys saw she was wearing the cross today? Just like Caitlin Albert and Katie McLaughlin. She ain't fooling anyone. She's like, ooh, why didn't I think of that? Deanne sends $25 and goes, please say good luck to my niece, Shay. Good luck, Shay. Whatever it is you're doing, you're going to do great. You're going to knock it out of the park. Thanks, Shay. Carrie sends $25 and goes, fuck the haters. I never stopped being you. Free Karen Reed. Thank you very much, Carrie. I appreciate that. Ann sends $5 and says, shout out to my friend Susie Kraft from Loomis, California. Shout out Susie. Scott sends $5 and goes, the defense greater than Nuttall, Roberts, and Whiffin. I know. Think of what the Commonwealth's whole lineup is. What have they done so far? 6 days into this. Well, okay, you made the whole trial. You made the protagonist of your story Timothy Nuttall for some reason, and he got destroyed. He turned out to be a guy whose memory just changes constantly, and he's just kind of goofy and like autistic or some shit. I don't know what's wrong with that boy. And then there's Kerry Roberts, who admitted on the stand that she perjured herself at the grand jury. And then today there's Ian Whiffin, who I think might be a defense witness after all. We're going to get to some of that. So thank you very much for that, Scott. Okay. Michelle sends $5 and goes, why can't they ask up the basement floor replace? Ask up? I don't understand the question, but they can ask whatever they want. Thank you, Michelle. Paige sends $15, goes, what's Hank Brennan's fag gain by being, just put fag. They go, what's Hank Brennan? And then they put in parentheses, fag. Just in case I forgot who Hank was, fag. What does he gain by being in on a cover-up? A whole lot of money he's making off of this. He's making like $250,000 so far. He's probably going to make a lot more off the trial. And he's just doing this because he thinks he can. It's just an ego thing for this motherfucker. So that's all this is. Thank you. And he's like doing a favor for his boy 𝗁𝗄𝗆, who I'm told 𝗁𝗄𝗆 was big mad at me on Court TV tonight. Let me see. Somebody sent this or tagged me in it on Twitter. I want to see if I can play this.
If the expert is saying he could have, Joseph 𝗁𝗄𝗆 Jr., is that reasonable doubt right there? If the expert is saying he could have been in the house, you look at the circle, it's clearly the front door includes the basement, the entire left side of that house as you're looking at it. Is that reasonable doubt?
Hey, I just want to thank you for having me on the 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗆 show tonight. No, it's not reasonable doubt. Look,
The
Joseph
Bob
𝗁𝗄𝗆 Jr., is
okay.
that reasonable doubt right there?
On the 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗆 show, somebody tagged and says, oh, hey, Attorney 𝗁𝗄𝗆, you're jealousy showing. Oh, of 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗆. I see what that was. Okay, cool. All right. Back to this. I'm pink again. Am I really? Did I just turn pink? Yeah, I am turning pink again. What's going on here? That just happened? Anyway, Leslie sends $25 and has no comment. Thank you, Leslie. Next up, Taylor sends $10 and goes, fuck Jen, fuck the McCabe, free Karen Reed, and free Turtleboy. Well, thank you very much, Taylor. It's very kind of you. Katie sends, I already read that one about special place in hell for Jen. Meatball Morrissey's 𝗫𝗍𝗄𝗃 sends $5 and says, hi, Unc. Don't forget the email. I won't forget the email. I got it in. We'll see if I make it. I win every week, you know, but we'll see if I win next week. I don't know. All right. Steve sends $5 and says, impeach Jen on saying Matt ran out of the room. Yeah, Matt didn't run anywhere. The only thing she said that I think was the truth tonight is that when they got back to her house, Matt ate food. That's the only thing I could picture tonight being true, that they were at the waterfall and they were eating. And then they went to the Brian Albert's house and they killed a man. And then Matt McCabe came home and he ate some more. That I believe. That is the one thing I said tonight. I'm like, okay, that's the true fact. She finally said something true. Thank you. Steve sends, no, I read the one. Let's see, any others here? All right, okay, cool. All right. If anyone else, oh no, Beverly sends $20 and says, pink is your color. Love you, Turtleboy. I don't know if it's my color, but I'll take your word for it. Thank you, Bev. Okay, cool. If anybody else wants their messages read, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you could cash at me at $Uncle_Turtleboy. All right, 9:37, and we're finally getting started. That's a new record. All right, so I do have some timestamps here. I don't have all the timestamps, but we're going to do, let's see if we can be a little more efficient tonight. We're going to start with Sir Ian Whiffin. And what timestamp do we have here? 36 minutes. Let's see, go to the 36-minute mark.
It's certainly possible that the device was at that location and was moving toward the house. That's possible, correct?
Based on location data, yes.
Now what I'd like to do, please, is to go stay on that report. And the third paragraph says, the reason for such low accuracy location data at this time is not known, as there are many possible reasons why the accuracy was reduced. There's a little grammar issue there, but in fairness to you, sir, we do that when we write long reports. But I think that your intention here is, why the accuracy is reduced at this point, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. This could include reasons such as the device entered a building covered area, the result of weather conditions, geography, poor connectivity, or interference.
And yeah, if you sent a chat, I didn't catch up with all of them. I'm going to take periodic breaks and read them. Don't worry. They're all going to read, I promise.
To name a few. So those are the reasons you gave, which could contribute to some low accuracy, correct?
Correct.
And interesting, the very first reason you gave is that the device could be entering a building or covered area. And that phraseology could include a house, correct?
Correct.
It could include a garage attached to the house, correct?
Correct.
And it could include the house at 34 Fairview, and it could include the garage attached to the house at 34 Fairview, because both of those are buildings or covered areas, correct?
Correct.
Then you go on in the next paragraph to say it is known that the device was not being used at this time, and is this time that include that 12:37, 12-minute range, 12:25 to 12:37?
Yes, it was not being used for location purposes.
So that's another reason why, right, the accuracy could be a little bit on the lower side.
Correct.
Now, the next paragraph says, at 12:38:13, when the device begins recording higher, and that's relative to what it was recording before. It's not that it's high.
So, did you guys see where he said, though? Do you see what? Oh, I remember why I clipped this part. Listen to where he said the phone could be. I picked up on this.
There, but in fairness to you, sir, we do that when we write long reports. But I think that your intention here is, why the accuracy is reduced at this point, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
This
could include reasons such as the device entered a building covered area, the
Building.
result of weather conditions, geography, poor connectivity, or interference, to name a few. So those are the reasons you gave, which could contribute to some low accuracy, correct?
Correct.
And interesting, the very first reason you gave is that the device could be entering a building or covered area. And that phraseology could include a house, correct?
Correct.
It could include a garage attached to the house, correct?
Correct.
And
It could include a garage. Notice how I'm telling you, it happened in the garage. And I think they agree with me. Something happened in that garage. It just, the cell phone, the temperature aligns with the garage. It would make sense if something happened in the garage. I think something happened in the garage. I think it did. The more I think about it, that's not to say he obviously had to have gone up and down some flights of stairs, but something stumbled into the garage. I think something happened in the garage, or at least the phone was put in the garage. Like the garage, when you enter the house, the garage is right there. I don't know if you can get into the garage from the house or if you have to go outside. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. But yeah, anyway, what else is going to say? Yeah. Anyway, back to this. Let me play some more.
include the house at 34 Fairview, and it could include the garage attached to the house at 34 Fairview, because both of those are buildings or covered areas, correct?
Correct.
Then you go on in the next paragraph to say it is known that the device was not being used at this time. It is this time that include that 12:37, 12-minute range, 12:25 to 12:37.
Yes, it was not being used for location purposes.
So that's another reason why, right, the accuracy could be a little bit on the lower side.
Correct.
Now, the next paragraph says, at 12:38:13, when the device begins recording higher, and that's relative to what it was recording before. It's not that it's high, but it's higher than what it was just moments before.
Correct.
The data centers on a location slightly closer to the house than the roadside, although several records show the same center coordinate with differing accuracy radii. Some of these location records are shown in the map below in white. So let's go down and look at what you had in your report for the area in white. In the area in white that you're referring to, there are two white circles, the largest there. This, in fact, was a depiction you included in your report on page 29.
So look at this shit. This is his own report. They're just using his own report against him. And as you can see here, this is where the phone could be, right? Have you guys ever looked at your phone, like where you are on GPS on your phone? It's not, look, somebody sent me their shit earlier and I want to test it out right now. I don't have Waze, but somebody sent, hold on. Let's see. Is this it? No, that's not it. Thought I had it. Can I go on Waze starts in my, somebody sent me a link to their, I forget if they messaged me on Twitter. Well, I get so many messages, or if it definitely wasn't Facebook. What fucking platform did they message me on? And they showed me like where their shit was, and they were like not in the right spot. Is that it? No. Oh, the Find My Phone app. Okay, let me do that. Let me do the Find My Phone. Find My Phone. Okay. Continue. Okay. Let's see where it says I am in the house. I mean, it's like all over the place. It's like fucking moving around. Okay, is it here? It's off. It's in the it's in the wrong part of the house. It's probably got me like 20 feet away from where I am right now. I don't know about you guys. 20 feet away. It's like it was moving around. Oh, now it's moving again. It's like trying to get a signal. You know, I don't know how this shit works, but it's like clearly it's not 100% accurate. Like, and that's what his whole thing depicts here is that, well, yeah, it could be up to this radius all the way here, which is inside the house. So clearly he could have been inside the house.
Right.
Correct.
Interesting. and notable, you did not include that depiction in your timeline that you discussed with the jury yesterday, did you?
I did not
No.
know.
But it was important.
Why is that?
For you to put that depiction in your report, correct?
Correct.
And notably, the larger white circle covers a substantial amount of the house at 34 Fairview, correct?
Correct.
So, given your testimony on direct yesterday with Attorney Brennan, the phone of John O'Keefe, according to this depiction, could be anywhere within the largest white circle, correct?
Correct.
And this depiction was not offered by you or the Commonwealth in your presentation to the jury yesterday, correct?
Correct. Not in PowerPoint.
Now, if we could.
So yeah, there we go. So he intentionally did not put that in his report that like, oh yeah, it could be out here. Okay, cool. Next timestamp, because I got timestamps now. 103:30. Let me jump to that.
It does, thank you.
Pardon me?
It does, thank you.
And how does it refresh your recollection?
I remember seeing that several months ago.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. There's a blower on here that I'm having trouble hearing Mr. Whiffin. If you, sir, could bring the mic, it's not your fault. If you could bring it and speak a little louder, I'd appreciate it.
I recall seeing that as part of the report that I read.
Ian Whiffin in real life is a low talker. When I'm in the courtroom with him, I can't hear a goddamn word he's saying. It's so weird because it's like when you go home and listen to it, it's so loud and like it's perfect when he's on here. But when you're actually in the courtroom with him, you cannot hear a word he's saying. He sucks.
2 months ago.
And you recall the time of 12:31:38 now, correct?
Correct.
Let's go back to your timeline. 82. So you just spoke about a trigger 1162-2 associated with a time of 12:31:38, and we are now at the timeline of 12:31:56, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
We are now going back to the timeline, deck 82, and you see up at the top where it says health
Look it up.
31:56. You see that, sir?
I do.
And then it says start of health event, 36 steps, 25 meters, which we have said is 84 feet or so. And this is when.
So this is an insight into the new shit that we're dealing with here. Okay. This is their new theory of what happened, that John got hit at, I believe, 12:31:56. And then, so this is the collision, because that's the dude. They're trying to Hank is trying to get too cute with this because he realizes that last trial was kind of bootleg. Trooper Paul with his "it just did," and here's this crazy theory about a pirouette, and it just wasn't very scientific. And Hank is like a nerd, so he wants to be like the data and the analytics and blah blah. He wants to have a chart to point to, so he needs an exact time he got hit. And he's like, okay, we're gonna use the chip off, and we're gonna find out that it happened at the collision happened at 12:31:56. Okay. So that's what they're saying. First of all, that's a problem. If they're saying the collision happened at 12:31:56, you can't get back to the house for 12:36. It is impossible. As much as Attic Boy has said that, well, actually, she was enraged and she drove 1,000,000 miles an hour home. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. That is not what happened. Stop it. I mean, they call us conspiracy theorists, and they're like, well, she drove 100 miles an hour to get home and she did this in the snow. Like, dude, did you hear Whiffin's other thing? He was saying that she was going 10 to 20 miles an hour on their way to get there. Oh, but after she hit him, she's Miss Speed Demon, because, after you kill a man, the number one thing you want to do is get caught speeding. Just drive like a fucking lunatic right through the center of town where the police will never see you. Right. That makes a lot of sense. Right. Of course. So, but here's the problem with 12:31:56 is she can't get back for 12:36. That's impossible. And number two, you got a couple other events here. The pocket state cleared. The device unlocked with Face ID at 12:32:04. Face ID. So their theory now is that he got hit by a car at 12:31 and 56 seconds. 8 seconds later, he opens up his phone with his face. And then what does he do? He goes to his messages. He reads a message from Jen McCabe. That's like the last thing he does is read Jen McCabe's message. And then at 32:09, he locks it with a lock button, and then he's dead. That's the end of his steps. So this whole theory that you heard last trial, that they tried, that 9 retards, because that's what they are on the jury, 9 retards believe Trooper Paul's theory that this motherfucker did a pirouette in midair and smashed his head on the ground and was just out like that. That never happened, as it turns out. We knew that didn't happen, but now Hank Brennan is saying that didn't happen. What actually happened was first he got hit in the arm, and he was like, oh, fuck, I'm dying. But first, let me read this message from Jen. Okay, I'm dead now. And then first I'm going to throw my phone down, and then I'm going to lie on top of my phone, and I'm dead now. I mean, it's just real. Are they really saying this? What a fucking clown show this is. So anyway, here he is explaining it.
The device begins moving, correct?
Correct.
And that is after the trigger of 1162.2, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Let's go to the next entry on the timeline, which is 1232.03. You see that? That's Doppler?
I do.
And then you state pocket state cleared. Is the phone at that time in a pocket?
It's impossible for me to say. I can say that the camera was blocked, but I don't know what was blocking it.
You're saying at this point the camera is blocked?
It had been blocked, and at that point, it became unblocked.
So at this point, it became unblocked from a previous block status, correct?
Yes.
Does there have to be some human manipulation of the phone at 1232.03 for that to happen?
Yes.
Technically not.
Whoa.
There are scenarios that wouldn't require it.
Is it more likely than not that there had to have been some human contact in action for this pocket state clearing?
More
event?
likely than not. Also known as reasonable doubt.
1232.04 is the next. It's a type unlock. Device unlock with Face ID. You see that, sir?
I do.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Is there some human action that has to occur for the device to unlock with Face ID?
Typically, you must be paying attention to the phone.
I'm sorry, sir?
You must be paying attention to the phone, assuming that that setting's enabled.
So someone had to be looking at the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
At 1232.05, application focus. What does that mean?
That the messages application was at the foreground of the device being used.
Next entry, 1232.06. We discussed this. Excuse me. It says read message pull behind me, and that is associated with a Jen McCabe. It's a Jen McCabe message of 3147. Correct.
Correct.
And does a human have to be reading that for that entry to be made?
The message needs to be on screen. If the conversation with Jen McCabe was already on screen when the device was unlocked, then that message would automatically be considered read.
Next entry, app lock 1232.09, end application focuses messages, and then it says device locked with lock button for the last time. That requires human interaction with the phone, correct?
He's got to
It
lock
actually
it.
requires somebody to take the cell phone and press
You
the
gotta
side
go like
button
this.
to do that, correct?
It does, yes.
So there has to be some degree of coordination
press that thing.
for that to occur, for a human to be able to have something that hits that button, correct?
Certainly, yes.
Do you understand what a term fine motor skill means? Do you
Yes.
understand that? And would that person have to be using fine motor skills to do that?
Yes.
Next entry, 1232.16. End of health event, 36 steps, 25 meters, again, 84 feet. That is in your timeline because that's when you believe the end of the health event, the end of the 36 steps occurred, correct?
That is the time that the device data shows the end of the health event, yes.
So there you go. He's moving around until 12:32 and 16 seconds. That's a problem. Like there's no fucking way there's no way. They have boxed themselves in. Hank has tried to get too cute with this technology shit, and he boxed himself into a corner. This would have been much better if it was at like 12:28 or some shit like that. But again, That's not what time the McAlberts did this. I mean, think how the face recognition shit is scary because we all know he wasn't hit by a car, and we all know he wasn't conscious at 12:32, which means that they fucking took his face and they used it to open up his fucking phone. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, people will say, well, so the battery temperature doesn't go down enough, as we saw today. So how does the phone, why did it not move after 12:32? Well, I mean, I've heard rumors about this before. People have suggested it. You guys ever heard of a Faraday bag? A Faraday bag? It's like a Faraday bag. Is that how you pronounce it? It is a, it blocks electronic magnet signals, effectively creating a portable Faraday case. It means it prevents devices inside from receiving or transmitting signals like cell phone calls, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and RFID. And so when you Google Faraday bag, the next word that comes up in the choice is police. And yeah, police stations all have them. So, people have wondered what was Brian Higgins doing at the Canton Police Department at 1:30. Oh, moving cars, right? And it doesn't make sense that he's like checking up on what they're talking about because no one's there. No one's at the police. It was good he was like by himself. He could listen to the radio to hear what, transmissions or whatever. Like, you don't need to be in the station to figure out what the fuck people are talking about at that time. So it just it's just a theory. I have zero evidence of this whatsoever. But wouldn't that make a little bit of sense? If they put it in a Faraday bag, if they had the phone in the garage in a Faraday bag, I mean, that would align. Everything would add up then, right? Again, I don't know what the fuck Faraday bag is. I mean, somebody threw this idea out to me. I'm just saying. It's just the thought. It's just the thought. But there's a reason Higgins was at the goddamn police station and he wasn't moving cars. Faraday. I apologize.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
So let me jump to 1:15.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Did Trooper Guarino tell you that he measured the distance from the flagpole to the front door and it was 72 feet? Did he ever tell you that?
Sustained.
Did you ever have a conversation with Trooper Nick Guarino about the distance from the flagpole to the front door of 34 Fairview?
Maybe.
Maybe. So is it maybe then you had a conversation with him in which he stated to you that distance is 72 feet?
It's maybe.
So if we go back to what we were discussing earlier about the steps and the distance covered, and this is in your report of March 2025, where we've talked about this, and it's the final health activity of note on John's phone can be seen to have occurred between 12:31:56 and 12:32:16.
Is this the correct slide?
No, it's
So
not.
let's take it down.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me start that over. The final health activity of note on John's phone can be seen to have occurred between 12:31:56 and 12:32:16, during which 36 steps were recorded.
36.
A distance of 5.4 meters, or 84 feet.
84
feet is greater than 72 feet, correct?
Correct.
So if the distance from the flagpole to the front of the house is 72 feet, and your report notes steps, 36 steps covering a distance of 84 feet, that would put those steps within the house, correct?
It would.
Yep.
Let's continue on with the timeline.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go. He could have been in the house. He makes it very that's amazing. He said he could have been in the house. So talk about reasonable doubt. Could John O'Keefe, if there's any chance he could have been inside that house, it's not entirely ruled out. That's reasonable doubt. You must acquit. You cannot convict somebody beyond a reasonable doubt. If they could have been in there, for sure, it's a possibility. All right, let me go to the next one. The freezer test, 125.
This is a good question. It was sometime probably in December last year.
I'm sorry.
In December last year, I believe.
December 2024.
Correct.
So what you did here was you took the phone, you put it inside a freezer. What was the temperature of the freezer?
I actually don't know.
I don't know.
A freezer.
It was freezing.
Sort of your just regular freezer that everybody has.
A regular chest
Nothing
freezer.
special about.
No.
It was freezing, he says. What was the temperature in there? It was colder than a rock. Is that what you're going to say? Everything's something than a rock. It was colder than a rock in that freezer. It was freezing. He really said the freezer was freezing. I mean, this is a really scientific guy we're dealing with here. It was freezing in there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's look at some of the data that you have from it. Let's start at the 1710 time frame, where it's placed in the freezer, and you've got, and we're going to go with Fahrenheit, if that's okay with you.
Of course, yes.
Thank you. 73.4 degrees. Correct?
Correct.
And then if you go all the way down to the 1725, which would be 15 minutes, correct?
Correct.
Can you state what the drop in temperature is of the battery temperature in just 15 minutes in a freezer?
Approximately 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
So
that's insane.
50 degrees Fahrenheit in just 15 minutes.
This is from his own report. If you put a phone in a freezer, it drops 50 degrees Fahrenheit in 15 minutes. That means if that phone was outside for that many hours, that shit is going to be the temperature. What did that say? 17 degrees it was down to?
Battery temperature in just 15
Yeah,
minutes.
17 degrees. I don't know how cold the freezer is, but it's probably around 17 degrees because it's a goddamn freezer. It's going to be below freezing, which is 32, Whiffin. I don't know if you're familiar with our system over here, but our Fahrenheit system. But yeah, 32 degrees is freezing. So 17, dude, within 15 minutes, it had adopted the temperature of the freezer. That's all it took. So if that phone is outside with John O'Keefe for 5.5 hours, it's not going to take very long for that phone to be the outside temperature, which was 19 degrees. 19 degrees. But no, it was not. It was like 43 degrees when they found it.
And it's in a freezer.
Approximately 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
This is the most
So it drops
exculpatory
50
shit.
degrees Fahrenheit in just 15 minutes.
Correct.
And is it fair to say that if you do the math, that's about a little over 3.5 degrees per minute? And if Your Honor, if you want to use a calculator, or just accept my estimate, whatever Your Honor thinks is appropriate.
However you can answer the question, Mr.
I'm happy to accept your answer. That's fine.
Let me just make sure. I have a moment, Your Honor. Test scenario 2. And in test scenario 2, you took the same phone with the same software and you placed it outside at a temperature of 33.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Correct?
Correct.
Just above freezing.
And
What happens here?
Mr. Wolf? And if you could just scroll up, well, if you just leave it there, it's fine. So if we take the time that we start out with a control temperature, and then we've got a battery temperature at 9:02, and this is the battery temperature of the iPhone, correct?
Correct.
And we've got 66.2 degrees Fahrenheit, correct?
Correct.
So is it fair to call that a baseline for purposes of what this chart is?
The device had already been outside for 2 minutes at that point, but yes.
Okay, so we'll just refer to 66.2. And then if we go from 9:02 down to 9:15, a period of 13 minutes, correct?
Correct.
So at 33.8 degrees and 13 minutes, what is the drop in temperature in degrees? What's the drop?
30,
Sorry, between the 9:02 and the 9:15.
Right. So
30.6.
does it go from 60?
So 30 again. So this is above freezing. When the temperature is above freezing, 33.8 degrees, it takes 13 minutes for it to drop from 66 to 35 degrees. So it's almost adapted to the temperature around it by then. It's like basically the phone. The lesson here is that it adapts to your temperature very quickly. And so Ian Whiffin's own report, which I just can't believe that it is stupid. And I thought about this today. I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be this fucking obvious. Like Hank Brennan knew that the defense team was going to see this and be like, but this proves our point, right? Like he had to have known that. Hank's not stupid. He had to have known this, but he's like, no, yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware they're going to see this. I'm aware they're going to point this out, but my goal is to trick the jury somehow with some bullshit. Like that's his only purpose of putting this in there. Oh. All right, back to this.
6.2 to 35.6.
It does.
And sir, so I don't have to have you do a math on the fly. I've calculated it, that drop at 30.6. Does that sound about right?
That sounds correct, yes.
So,
all right, I'm going to skip forward here to 133.
1237, 1253. In 15 minutes, it's only dropping 11 degrees.
So now he's looking at the
your experiments, where with the first scenario with the freezer, it dropped 50 degrees in a 15-minute period. Is it correct to say that there was a much more dramatic drop in temperature in your test scenario 1 than what actually occurred on John O'Keefe's phone for the time period we just covered in January 29th?
Yes.
And then with regard to even test scenario 2, where the temperature is 33.8 degrees, that's the ambient, the outdoor temperature, right? At that temperature, just above freezing, you've got a...
Sorry, it's below freezing.
I'm sorry?
It's below freezing.
What is freezing in Fahrenheit?
Don't know, but it's 0 degrees Celsius, and it was -5 degrees Celsius at the time.
Right, but would you
I
agree
don't
that,
know.
and I want to be fair to you because
He
I know
doesn't
you use
know.
Celsius more than Americans who use Fahrenheit. But would you agree that 32 degrees Fahrenheit is the freezing point in Fahrenheit?
I honestly wouldn't know.
Okay, fair enough. So
I know.
In any event,
the
in your
gray on
experiment at
gray.
33.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
And this guy dresses like Dwight Schrute. Like, where does he get these suits from? The gray. What am I gonna wear? I'm gonna go with the gray, with the gray tie and the gray shirt. Just very shades of gray. 50 shades of gray. That's what I'm gonna go
You're
with.
getting a drop in your experiment in 13 minutes of 30.6 degrees, right?
Correct.
But much less drop in temperature on slide deck 60 of the actual iPhone of John O'Keefe on the morning of January 29th, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you know what the temperature was in Canton in January 29th,
Yep.
2020?
I feel like you should. Like,
Don't you think that would
how the fuck do you not know that? I mean, how are you? Then what are you doing? Then what is the purpose of this? If you're trying to conduct a controlled experiment, right? You're supposed to be comparing your phone temperature to what Kant was, right? Isn't that the whole point of this? And they just didn't tell them what it was. So how are you running a controlled experiment without knowing the control?
would be an important piece of information.
Oh, excuse me.
In analyzing where the phone of John O'Keefe was on the morning of January 29th?
I didn't think it was.
So you didn't think
No.
it was important?
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
Though you issued a report discussing the temperature of the iPhone, and you did 2 test scenarios, one in a freezer, one in an ambient temperature of slightly above 33 degrees, and you didn't think it important to take the final step to see
18 degrees.
whether there was anything to be gained from that comparison to determine where that phone was located?
My testing proved that the battery temperature is affected by ambient temperature. My report shows the data that was on the device. I also don't know the condition that the phone was found in, whether it was in a case, whether it was in a pocket. So to me, the ambient temperature in Canton at the time wasn't particularly relevant. I just wanted to show what data the device had recorded.
Okay, that's fair for him. But if you're Hank Brennan, you should know that. Because okay, he's just trying to prove that the outside temperature affects what a phone temperature. He proved his hypothesis, which helps the defense. Does it not? Like, I don't get it. Because the temperature on the phone does not show the ambient temperature, does it?
The information that you create from your digital forensics analysis, including everything that's in the slide in your report, including battery.
What the fuck was that? What? I was not in the courtroom. I do not know what that was. Okay.
the law enforcement is using your digital forensics information to help them solve cases, correct?
Correct.
You didn't suggest to anybody on law enforcement that they might want to take a look at this temperature information to assist in determining where this phone could have been by the temperature? You never raised that with them?
I did not.
And do you know whether any law enforcement person was aware that you had done all this temperature analysis?
It was in my report.
So you create a report as part of this case, and you deem the temperature important enough to do 2 test scenarios, important enough to put it in a slide presentation to this jury. Yet there's no discussion of that between you and any member of law enforcement as to what it means?
The details were provided in my report, and there was discussions, but it never came up as to say what was the temperature in Canton that night.
Oh, so there were discussions?
Not with law enforcement.
Oh, who
as
were
part of my preparations for trial.
Oh, tell me about who you discussed this.
Yeah, tell me about
temperature
this.
Information with.
It was with Hank.
You're
With
hesitating.
Hank.
I
Oh,
can't
Hank.
hear you. Who did you discuss
with
it
Hank.
with? Excuse me?
With Mr. Brennan.
Attorney Brennan?
Yes.
You discussed temperature with Prosecutor Brennan.
It was in my report.
It was in your report,
Oh.
but you said you discussed. Which is it?
It's in my report, and the discussion was that it is in my report. I'm not in a position to suggest that investigations take place and change based on my report findings.
Oh, sir, I'm not suggesting what you just stated. I'm just trying to get information about, you mentioned the verb discussed.
Okay, so I guess, remember yesterday, one thing we learned from ARCA is that if you address an attorney by their first name, you are best friends. That's what Dr. Wolf and what's his name are, and Dr. Wolf and Alan Jackson are. They're best friends because he called him Alan. He just called him Hank, and he called Nicholas Garino, not even Nicholas. He called him Nick. Nick. Are you kidding me? Wow. The next thing you know, he's going to be going on to Garino's Bakery and getting a mediocre marble rye. And, you know, they're going to be best friends soon. They're going to, I mean, he could teach him a lot. Like, bro, here's how you find deleted text messages. It's actually really fucking easy. I know they don't teach you that at Westfield State, Nikki, but that's how it's done. All right. So anyway, that thought that was interesting too. All right, let me fast forward here. All right, to about past the break. 39 to
First, 1 at 1436, and then skipping 1 to 2944. Those are answered, but then starting, excuse me, at 3335 and 3409, those are unanswered, correct?
Correct.
You can take that down, Mr. Wolf. Thank you. On this case. Mr. Whiffin, when did you start working on this case? What was the date, approximate date?
And by the way, I just want to take a moment to point out, I don't know if she's doing this on purpose or not, but Karen Reed, if you're listening, much better facial reactions, I think, in court so far. We're 6 days in. We got a long way to go. But there have yet to be any viral, faces that she's making or whatever of like the smirks or the whatever. Like, I have yet to see a single thing like that. She keeps a pretty straight face. At least I have seen, which is, that was honestly, that was the biggest obstacle she had last trial was herself, was the faces that clearly turned off some people in the jury. Right. So thus far, we are 6 days in, and I have not seen a single face. I see faces like this the whole time. Serious faces, business. And did you guys also notice when she's turning, she turns this way now to turn. She used to turn this way towards the jury. And when she would turn to talk to her dad, because she likes to turn to her dad a lot, she turns the other way now. So they don't see her face now when she turns, which I think is, I don't know if that's by design or not, but it's smart. And so if Karen Reed is listening, keep doing that. Do not give the jury any reason to prejudice you. It's stupid. It's unfair. We all agree with that, but just your life is on the line. You gotta do whatever it takes. You got to play it smart. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's it. Exactly. She learned, it's like, I think a lot of people learned from last trial.
On this case or on this exhibit?
On this case.
Approximately September 2023.
So over a year and a half.
Correct.
How many times have you been in Norfolk County?
This is my second time.
So you were here once previously.
Correct.
Do you recall yesterday discussing what you had done with an iPhone, driving around and then moving it with your hand?
Correct. Yes.
Here we go.
In the year and a half that you've been on this case, did you ever take an iPhone and do the same activity on the route that you were discussing yesterday?
Oh, here we go.
Between 34 Fairview and One Meadows.
I did it on Sunday night.
I'm sorry?
I did it 2 days ago on Sunday night.
Sunday night. Hank is talking about 𝗪𝗏 like, oh, wow, we only have like a month to prepare for their latest test, the latest report, whatever. Like, oh my gosh. He's like, yeah, I just did it Sunday. You what? You did a test Sunday? Is any of this scientific? Is anyone with him in the car recording this, documenting this, anything? He's like, oh yeah, just first jumped in the car, my rental, and drove around. What? Okay.
And with regard to your time on this case, what was the results of that? I object, Your Honor.
I object.
I'm sorry? Okay.
What is the result of that? And Hank goes, objection. Objection. Why would he object to that? What if his little test showed that the phone did not show him going up and down 3 flights of stairs, which I'm sure it did not, because I've done it myself. That's not good. That's not good. And Hank knows that. So he does not want that coming out. His own witness did a bootleg test on his own on Sunday, and Hank didn't like the results. And so Hank does not want this coming out, and he wins. This gets crushed. This gets what's the word? Stifled.
I am now going to proceed. Yeah, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Whiffin, I am now going to proceed to a different topic. Do you recall discussing the Google search house?
The Google search. Okay.
In the cold?
I do.
And you discussed that in your direct testimony, correct?
I did.
You were a police officer for years before getting into the data forensic analysis of cell phones, correct?
Correct.
You were a response officer of the South Yorkshire Police from 2004 to 2009?
Correct.
You continued policing with the Calgary Police, working patrol, correct?
Correct.
You work frequently with
cop.
law enforcement?
I do.
Indeed, law enforcement is the predominance of your work, correct?
Probably about 80% of the work. Yes.
What percent?
About 80%.
80?
80.
Your work is used in investigations for law enforcement, correct?
Sometimes, yes.
In your area of work,
I just can't imagine this guy being a cop. I don't know what cops are like in Canada or England. I know they just carry like a baton. I don't even think they have guns. I just assume not. It's just, I can't imagine this guy being a cop. It's hard to picture, but he's too proper, you know?
you use and apply various forensic methods that are extracted. That data is extracted from a cell phone, correct?
Correct.
And you have various forensic methods to analyze that data, correct?
Correct.
And
about my actual analysis of cases I work
there is used to gain access to people's devices, correct?
Correct.
Such as cell phones, right?
Correct.
So, and there's something called an extraction process from long to die in the cold, correct?
Correct.
Appeared in the data at 2:27:40 a.m. on January 29th on Jen McCabe's phone, correct?
Correct.
And the question that you were looking at is that timestamp that appeared in the data, that timestamp at 2:20.
So now we're on to the Google search.
7:40 a.m. Whether that belonged to the Google search, how long to die in the cold, correct?
Correct.
And you testified yesterday with regard to that very issue, correct?
Correct.
Now, in your report of December 2024, you discussed the hash value of that cell phone, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yesterday, in your direct testimony, you didn't mention anything about the hash value.
Hashtag.
To Jen McCabe's phone, did you?
No.
Not in my testimony, no.
The answer is no, correct?
No.
However, isn't it correct that in your report of December 2024, you had an issue with the hash value from the data from that phone.
I didn't have an issue with the hash value at all, no.
So you didn't note that it was not possible with the gray key extraction as the PDF containing the extraction hash value, that it was unsigned? That was not an issue in your report?
The hash value matches, but because I didn't do the extraction, I'm unable to actually validate that was an original hash and hadn't been modified.
Exactly. So you didn't do the extraction, but you couldn't validate the hash value, could you?
No.
So you couldn't determine whether or not any of the data on that cell phone of Jen McCabe had been tampered with, correct?
I take a holistic view of the data and tried to find anomalies and didn't see any that raised any flags.
That wasn't my question, sir.
Okay.
I'll try it a different way.
I know. We're just getting started.
You concluded that the hash value was unsigned, correct?
Correct. They were always unsigned. Okay, apologies.
You concluded that the hash value was unsigned, correct? Thank you. And you went on, did you not, in your report, to say that the suggestion of authentication but can't be guaranteed 100% at all in your direct testimony yesterday?
I didn't know.
Hold on.
And again, hash values are very important concepts for custody of our iPhone. You have an unsigned hash value, and you can't guarantee the hash value authentication, correct? 𝗃40 timestamp, and the question of whether that timestamp is associated with a Google search.
Here we go.
House long to die in the cold.
Here we go.
You understand there is a dispute as to whether that search was performed at 2:27:40 a.m. as the timestamp states, or whether that was performed later in the morning, say around 6:23 a.m., correct?
Correct.
You understand there's a dispute?
Yes.
And do you understand that the defense asserts that that timestamp means what it says? The Google search occurred at 2:27:40 a.m. Thank you.
I'm going along with. Do you understand that?
I do.
I didn't hear your answer, sir.
I understand.
You understand that?
Yes.
So there are various data forensic tools, are there not, to evaluate what is called an artifact, this timestamp, correct?
Correct.
And those data forensic tools include Cellebrite tools, your company's tools.
Yes.
And
I don't know.
some of those Cellebrite tools
Not much.
are called Physical Analyzer.
Correct.
And then you have another tool, I believe, called Insights.
Insights is a suite that includes Physical Analyzer.
Okay.
But yes,
So Insights is a
it's
suite.
essentially the same tool.
Essentially the same tool. So there's Insight, well, essentially, but they're two different tools, correct?
They're two different versions of the same tool.
Thank you. Two different versions of the same tool.
Yes.
But there are other tools from other companies, are there not, sir?
There are.
And a competitor of Cellebrite that can be used to analyze that 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp and to potentially resolve that dispute of whether the Google search house long to die in the cold occurred at 2:27:40 a.m. or later at 6:23 or so a.m. There's other companies and tools that can be used for that, correct?
Correct.
And isn't one of the companies that can be used a competitor of Cellebrite called Magnet Forensics?
Tell us
And
about
they have
that.
a tool called Axiom, AXIOM,
Oh, yeah.
that evaluates questions such as this, correct?
They do.
And is Magnet Forensics a reputable company?
They are.
Am I correct that yesterday you essentially said that as of today, no Cellebrite tool, no Insight suite such as Physical Analyzer, today shows that 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp?
Correct. If you use any from the last approximately year, that timestamp won't show up.
It won't show up as you sit here today.
Correct.
But that's not always been the case.
Oh,
with regard to
here we
Cellebrite
go. Here we go. Here we go.
forensic tools, correct?
Correct.
As a matter of fact, in the first proceeding in this case, in June of 2024, when you testified under oath,
Aren't we all, Sarah? Aren't we all?
the situation with the forensic tools was Cellebrite Forensics Insights did not show the 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp, but another version of Physical Analyzer did show it, correct?
Correct.
And that second program, that second tool, Physical Analyzer, not only showed it at 2:27:40 a.m., but it showed it as a deleted state, correct?
It's a deleted record, yes.
A deleted record.
Yes.
Ooh.
Did you mention that yesterday in your direct testimony?
I don't believe so.
You don't believe so?
No, we changed it since then.
We changed
Exactly,
it
you
since
changed
it.
it since then.
I can't
Yes.
believe he said that.
Your company removed it
We
after the first
changed-
trial.
We removed
Before the first trial.
it.
Well, you removed it from one tool, before the first trial, but you didn't remove it from the other physical analyzer program, did you?
Up until the following version was released.
No, I'm talking about the time of trial when you were testifying.
I appreciate that. There's some complexities with how we released the software, which resulted in one being released several weeks later and one being released several weeks earlier.
I mean, I just cannot believe this. I can't believe this. Jen McCabe gets the craziest treatment. I mean, this is like if you found a bloody glove in her house and they just made it disappear. They found the most incriminating search possible on her phone deleted. 𝗃𝗏𝗃. This guy works for 𝗃𝗏𝗃. 𝗃𝗏𝗃 physical analyzer says she Googled that at 2:27 and 40 seconds, and then she deleted it. Oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, that is what it said. Yep. Why doesn't it say it anymore? Well, we changed it. What do you mean we changed? You changed it? Yeah, we got rid of it. Because they create new software updates. It's like fucking, you know, an iPhone or a PlayStation, whatever, like the newest version of it. And we just, you know, we got rid of it. And it's like, what I don't understand is like, so did you do coding with the software to make all, like, why did that one disappear? It's like, no. We literally just picked that one out. When designing our new software, we kept Jennifer McCabe in mind. And when I say Jennifer McCabe, I don't really mean Jennifer McCabe. I mean Michael Morrissey and the Commonwealth. Think about this. How much money does 𝗃𝗏𝗃 make off of local governments, particularly district attorney's offices? Probably a lot. They get contracted by them a lot to use their software to download phones. It happens everywhere. So they're the customers, right? The district attorney's offices. So you want to keep them happy. So if the district attorney's office sees this 𝗃𝗏𝗃 report, which says something awful for their case, like, holy shit, our star witness in a murder trial of a cop Googled the most incriminating thing possible. That's no good for us, 𝗃𝗏𝗃. That's not going to work. And so then Michael Morrissey, his office calls up 𝗃𝗏𝗃, and they're like, what's up with this? Why does it say this? And then they're like, and then 𝗃𝗏𝗃 has a discussion, and they're like, bro, we can't afford to lose that contract. We can't afford to have him run to, like, I don't know, Axiom or some competitor and use them instead of us. So let's just get rid of it. Let's just come up with a new software update, and we will literally just, do we need to do any coding or anything like that to come up with a general thing like that the overall problem was that caused this or whatever? No, we'll literally just delete that part of it. Just delete that part. What about the 624? No, they like 624. They like the 624 search because that goes along with Jen's story. So we're going to keep 624, but we got to get rid of 227. 227's got to go. So we're literally just going to get rid of it. The truth comes out. And it didn't come out through Bob 𝗏𝗏𝗏 or Alan Jackson or Karen Reed or anything like that. The truth came out through Sir Ian Whiffin. The government's own witness spills the beans and is like, oh, yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did that. That was us. I literally just got rid of it for them. He didn't say why he gets rid of it. He just got rid of it. Oh, okay then.
At the time of trial, last year in June,
227 did happen.
Under oath. One of the 𝗃𝗏𝗃 tools showed the timestamp of 2:27:40 a.m., correct?
Correct.
But that timestamp doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist today, does it?
Correct.
𝗃𝗏𝗃 removed it.
Yes.
Could I see counsel at sidebar for just a minute?
Oh
please?
my God. She calls a sidebar like the most important time. She sucks, dude. She sucks. And did I see Laura McLaughlin back? She's back. With her plaid suit on today. Oh God, these people. These are some of the dumbest people. Look at them. Not the reporters. They're fine. They're fine. But yeah, that's wild. That's wild. And that's the other thing is like difference between 𝗃𝗏𝗃 and 𝗪𝗏 is that the 𝗃𝗏𝗃 employees apparently are just cowboys that can go out and do their own thing and make their own money on the side. Dr. Wolf yesterday is like, bro, I'm on salary. I am not getting paid. Like this doesn't, the money that was like made in this doesn't go in my pocket. It goes in the company's pocket and then they pay me a salary. I don't get like a bonus from this.
Go ahead, Mr. Lesson.
Thank you, Your Honor. So with regard to the first proceeding, there was one Cellebrite forensic tool that still showed the 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp.
Correct.
And it was shown in a deleted state.
The record was deleted, yes.
The record was deleted. And then after that, Cellebrite outright removed the timestamp from.
Yes.
So none of its programs had.
Yes.
Correct?
Again, if I could explain a little bit about how it works.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
If you could just respond to my question. Is that correct?
The timestamp's been removed, yes.
However, the competitor of Cellebrite,
Here we go.
talked about Magnet Forensics Axiom.
Axiom.
That program at the first proceeding showed the 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp, correct?
Correct.
And guess what? Michael Morrissey's not going to be hiring them anymore. He's not going to be using them at all. And no, Axiom, fuck them. Fuck them. Where were they when they needed us? Where were they? We needed to get rid of Jennifer McCabe's Google search. And where were they? Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen.
And as a matter of fact, as you sit here today, the Magnet Forensics program, Axiom, still shows. The
Still
2:27:40
shows.
timestamp, correct?
As far as I know, yes.
And Magnet Forensics Axiom is a reputable company, correct?
Correct.
Reputable.
Cellebrite removed that 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp, which is in a deleted state, in response to issues raised in the first proceeding, correct?
It was changed because of the research that I did, and that was verified by the forensic research group.
But the issue arose because of what had come up in the first proceeding, correct?
In the first investigation prior to the proceeding, yes.
In the first investigation in this case, correct?
Yes.
So Cellebrite, after the first proceeding, after the investigation, just outright went and removed the timestamp.
It's not unusual to change.
I didn't ask if I just asked whether they
we removed it.
But
We removed
Magnet
it.
Forensic Axiom still shows that 2:27.
Like he was actually a really good witness. Like a lot of these witnesses fight shit and they're like, no, it's a long story. And let me tell you the whole story. He's like, I don't want to hear the story. He's like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we literally, that's exactly what we did actually. Like he was a pretty good witness. Not too shabby.
40 a.m. timestamp, right?
Again, they refer to it differently, which is why they
But
can
they
do
still
that.
show it.
They do still show it.
Just finish the answer.
So,
Sorry. Just let him finish the answer. Is that what you said, Mr.
yeah, my apologies, but I'm having trouble hearing, but I'll pause more just to make sure you're done. In that 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp, the dispute is whether it's associated with the search, House Long to Die in the Cold, correct?
Correct.
Let's talk a little bit more about the first proceeding in this case.
The first proceeding. So we're talking about the trial.
You recall stating that it was your opinion as to whether that 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp was associated or not with the Google search House Long to Die in the Cold.
I believe so.
Right. So you called it your opinion.
Yes.
You didn't describe it as a fact. You described it as your
Opinion.
correct?
Opinion.
Because you realize that there are other fair interpretations of that timestamp.
Right.
And when the Google search. occurred, correct?
Reasonable doubt.
I think even if I believe it's a fact, it's my opinion.
Right. So
Right.
it's your opinion.
Yes.
So you also
This
you
is
recall
fucking
stating that
nasty.
there's plenty of other evidence on that extraction that shows what activity was occurring at 2:27:40. You recall that?
Correct.
And you used the word evidence, correct?
Correct.
But that evidence on the Celebrate program is now gone, correct?
No.
It's not gone?
It's not gone.
So the 2:27:40 timestamp still exists in Celebrate programs?
Sorry, are we talking about the additional evidence that shows what happened at 2:27:40?
No, I'm just asking whether,
Okay.
I thought we had that clear, but I thought, is the 2:27:40 a.m. timestamp show up on any Celebrate program as you sit here today?
The decoded value does not show a timestamp for
Thank you.
that aspect.
Sir, does your work include shaping how examiners will see the data when they open it?
Yes.
So you shape how the data is going
You
to be.
shape how the data is going to be.
Yes, we have
Yes.
ways to create the data so it's usable. Yes.
So the answer is
shape it.
yes, you
Yes.
shape the data.
Yes.
We shape the data.
And we know that no one has access to the Apple source code on iPhones, correct?
Correct.
And the best source of information about what may be happening inside of an Apple iPhone would be if one could get the source code and look into the source codes to see what's actually happening, correct?
Correct.
So what happens is there's no tools are used.
Correct.
So sometimes examiners have to give opinions like you give because you don't have access to the source code, correct?
So this is all reasonable doubt. All this shit. Like everything he just said right there, that is reasonable doubt that you can believe. Like, so it's not a fact that 227 didn't happen. And this would obviously make it harder to convict Jennifer McCabe. And maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't indict her, right? Is because, yeah, everybody knows she did it, but like it's what you can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And if there is a witness who's going to get up here and say, well, 227 didn't happen, well, that's going to be hard to convict her, right? Conversely, what we're left with here is like, I don't know if that is the best the government can get right now is, I don't know if 227 happened. That's the best. Not it didn't happen. That is not what we got from this at all. That there's some sort of fact here. Ian Whiffin says it himself. It's an opinion. And clearly other well-respected companies like Axiom do not agree with this opinion at all. That's why they still have it.
With your opinion, oftentimes, with regard to ultimate conclusion.
Based on research and testing. But yes,
not
it's an opinion.
100% absolute certainty because you don't have access to the source code, correct?
Correct.
Switch topics. A couple points on the 22740 timestamp, if I may, Mr. Whiffin. Sir, do you understand the significance?
Here we go.
If Jen McCabe made that Google search, house long to die in the cold at 2:27:40 a.m. instead of 6:23 a.m., do you understand the significance of that?
Of course.
Sustained.
Listen to that. Watch this.
He said yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry? I said sustained.
Oh, thank
Listen
you.
to it again.
40 a.m. And you understand, sir, do you understand
This was
the
great.
significance? If Jen McCabe made that Google search, house long to die in the cold at 2:27:40 a.m. instead of 6:23 a.m., do you understand the significance of that?
Of course.
Sustained.
Of course. Oh, dude, he couldn't help it. He was being honest. Do you understand the significance of if she Googled the difference, right? Like if she Googled it at 227, that means she's in on the murder. You understand that, right? Like that's a very, really, really consequential thing. And he goes, of course, everybody knows. And I knew as soon as that question was asked, they're going to object to it, but he answered it so quickly before it could be sustained. And Auntie Bev was like pissed. It's like,
he said yes, Your Honor.
He said yes.
I'm sorry? I said sustained.
I said sustained.
Jury, strike any answer that may.
Whew. Yeah.
What do you
Jury strike any answer? They still heard it. Sure, I'll strike that, but I heard that shit.
understand to be the significance of the dispute over 227:40 timestamp?
Objection sustained.
Mr. Whiffin, with regard to the 227:40 a.m. timestamp, have you looked at any forensic tools to answer that question other than Cellebrite tools and your tool Ardex?
I've used Axiom as well.
So you used Axiom, and so did you therefore see that 227:40 a.m. timestamp still appeared?
Yes.
Did you discuss that with the jury yesterday, that you analyzed the Axiom program and that 227:40 a.m. timestamp still appears?
I didn't. No.
You did not?
I did not.
Did not.
Could we please, with the court's permission, put the PowerPoint presentation back up and go to
So yeah, anyway, that's enough with Whiffin. That is our first cross-examination from Robert 𝗚𝗏𝗄𝗏. We've seen him in the pretrial stuff. He's a bit verbose. And earlier in the day, and yes, I did see the Celtics are on a roll right now, 83-62. They're up by 21 points. We are on to the next round. We're going to New York. Or did the Knicks lose? Did the Knicks win tonight? The Pacers won. They're up 4-1, and the Pistons. Oh, so they won in New York, huh? So they're going back to the Palace for Game 6. That's interesting. So Pacers are going to play the Cavs. We are going to play most likely the Knicks, but I guess could be the Pistons too. We'll see what happens. Anyway, back to this. So Surrey and Whiffin, what was I saying? So, 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗃. So this is his first crack at it, at somebody. And I tweeted earlier in the day that, like, I think, and I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. I think my earlier tweet was, that, let's see. I said, I'm sorry, but 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗃 needs to pick this up. The presentation is incredibly boring, and he's going to lose the jurors' attention. Destroy this clown. I guess I just got that. Maybe that was the ADHD in me. I just wanted action because Alan Jackson comes out firing every time, and I'm used to that. Whereas, like, this guy, it took a little bit for him to get going. And then, but man, not once did he need to really raise his voice with this guy. Not once did he be like, and you did this, didn't you? And that was on purpose, wasn't it? Like, that's what Hank would have done. The way he's been treating these ARC experts, he treated this guy with nothing but respect. He never raised his voice with them, never sounded accusatory. And that's it. It was just masterful. It is slow. He's a slow talker, and he's a loud talker. But guess, I think this, I was not there, but I can't help but think that the jury would get everything that happened to this guy because he's very boring on direct. His whole presentation yesterday was boring as shit. And he just talks and talks and talks, and you don't get asked any tough questions at all. So there's that. Okay. So then let's go on. Let's just jump to Jen McCabe. Let's just jump right to it. Before we jump to her, to Horseface, let me just read some turtle chats. Okay. Where'd it go? All right. Botox Beauty sends $10 and says, your response to us asking for your skincare routine. Ask Meredith what a skincare routine is. I could ask my daughter what a skincare. She could probably tell me. She does. She's into that shit. I don't know what it means either. I think it just means you just sit in front of the vanity, right? And you just put on your lotions and shit like that, and you like do the whole thing. It's a routine. It's a skincare routine, you know. I think. But yeah, it says. Let's see. So yeah, that's that one. So I appreciate that. Where'd my turtle chats go? There they are. Okay, cool. You are much humbler than we thought. Okay, thank you, Botox Beauty. Jen belongs in prison, sends $10 and goes, has the defense ever tried to subpoena Google server logs? The nail in the coffin for that cunt Jennifer McCabe at 227. Let's put the cunt in prison so she can get forced to eat dirty pussy for the rest of her miserable life. I wouldn't go that far, as evil as she is. I just want her in jail. But she's not going to jail. I mean, she got away with murder. She's the most protected person. Not because she's anything. And that's what these people are like. Why would they go all this? You know, what are these people so powerful? How is Jen McCabe that powerful? It's not Jen McCabe. They don't give a shit. It's the fact that she's a government witness. It's the fact that she can put Karen Reed away. They want Karen Reed. And Jen McCabe is just something useful to get Karen Reed. And that's why she has to be protected at all costs by them. So she's just lucky that she's a witness against Karen Reed. That's all she is. Thank you. Jen belongs in prison. Grant Smith Jealous sends $10 and says, why won't fake victim hold my hand? I need your mojo. Yeah, I heard him on Will the Glare the other night, and he called in, and he's just like, and Will grilled him about like, what's up with the fake victim shit? Like you're in love with her, like basically. And he's like, oh, he's like, oh, she was definitely pregnant. No, Grant, she was never pregnant, bro. She was never, ever pregnant. Stop it. So as long as he's still pushing that fantasy, it's like, shut up, Grant. Okay. Kim sends $10 and goes, hanging with Jody. So excited for Thursday night's fundraiser. Free Karen Reed and Turtleboy. I'm so disgusted with the Commonwealth. Aren't we all, Kim? I appreciate that. Lori sends $10 and goes, recap so far. We've had a nutball, a perjurer, Kerry, and now a wiffle ball, Whiffin. Great job so far, Commonwealth. I love you for all you stand for. Well, thank you very much, Lori. John sends $5 and says, after this is over, Canton won't be the same. No, it won't. Thank you. Crystal sends $5 and goes, I just wanted to run this theory by you. Just kidding. No children, no doxing, no semen. Free Karen Reed, free Turtleboy. Yeah. No more. No more of the victimization from these people. We're the victims. We're covered in semen. Our children are covered in semen and doxing. Leave them alone. That's it. Okay. IT, the return of Jenny Wise, sends $20 and says, Karen took her shoes off. Guilty shoes on. Guilty hysterical. Guilty calm. Guilty everything she does. Ratchets scream guilty. Oh, Jen. I hope we never have a peaceful sleep again. Love you, Dr. Daddy, and good luck on Thursday. Well, thank you very much. It's actually Wednesday, tomorrow. Yeah, no matter what she does, she's too hysterical. She must be guilty. Oh, she's not showing enough emotion for John. She must be guilty. Which do you want it? You know, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, these people are going to say you're guilty. So fuck them. Fuck them. Okay, next up. Thank you for that one. Rosaline sends $20, goes, Dr. Turtleboy, today is my mom's birthday. She passed away 2 years ago. I'm sorry, Rosaline. I want to raise a glass to my mom, your mom, and all the Turtle Rider moms we've lost who made us kick ass people we are today. R.I.P. and Salante. I love it. That's how you pronounce it. Give us the timeline and we'll give you McDonough, free Karen Reed, and free Turtleboy. This whole thing could end tomorrow. This whole thing. If we just gave him McDonough, I say we do it. Fuck it. Fuck Sean. Fuck it. We're turning him in. I'm calling on my contacts at the state police. Like, look it, guys. Okay. You win. I held out for 3 years. You guys got me by the balls. I'll give you McDonough. You got him. And just let me go. Okay? That's it. Look the other way. Olin Dick sends $5 and goes, I just sent you a Twitter DM of a new story created by Jen about Karen telling her over the phone that she broke her taillight before bumping into John's car. Melanie calls it out right away. You should pull it up. It really shows how malicious and calculated Jen truly is. Let me see if I got this. I think I saw that earlier. Yeah, there it is. All right.
She had cracked her tail light the night before. Did that have any?
Here's what they're trying to change now. Karen didn't crack her taillight until after these phone conversations when she was leaving her house to go to Jen McCabe's house. That's when she backed into John's car in the driveway, right? But now they want to eliminate that possibility by having Jen McCabe testify that she heard Karen told her that on the phone.
Oh, I see. That's new. That's a new twist, huh? That's a nice pickup there. Good eye, Melody. That's why there's too many eyes on this case now. People pick up on shit. That's a good point. That is clearly what they're saying. They're adding that, oh, wait. She told you that on the phone at 5 o'clock that it was cracked? Why would she say that on the phone? That doesn't make any sense. Why would she talk like, hey, so my taillight's cracked? Okay, because I just remember, she ran John over and she knows it. And she's just like, yeah, so let me tell you about the incriminating evidence on my car. Because that makes a shitload of sense, right? Okay. Brennan, the human micropene, sends $50 and says, yes, Bev. Reciprocal discovery. That includes the Commonwealth too, you dumb fuck. The defense is all class. Brennan is all arse. least Lally had a little dignity. Not much, but he just wanted to get home to his cheese sandwich, didn't he? And his carton of Newports. Denise sends $20 and goes, I'd love it when all this is over. It comes out that Judge Beaver is having an affair with Brian Albert or Higgins. Sending you love from San Diego. Yeah, wouldn't that be? That would a lot would add up if that happened for sure. But I see no evidence of that. So Laura sends $5 and goes, did you see the video of Hank and Bev looking at each other while Hank is asking questions to Ian, and Hank shakes his head at Bev. She looks down and shuffles her paper. Yeah, we did. I played it on the show last night. I think it's a nothing burger. That's what I think. Thank you. Kate sends $10 and goes, who is Jim Sullivan that called John and he ignored at the bar that night when Karen was there around? Since JJ noted John's phone and Karen's phone court records, I guess the contact name was used if there was one saved in the phone. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I have no idea what you're talking about, Kate. Thank you for the $10. Courtney sends $10. It goes, when Karen is acquitted, I'm going to get so excited to watch all your future episodes and follow you through other trials and stories. I adore you. And my husband says you're the only other man that I can love. Well, thank you, Courtney. I'm glad your husband allows you to love me. So that's really sweet of him. But yeah, I mean, I'm a true crime guy now. This is clearly going to be my thing now. We're going to jump balls deep into all sorts of other shit, all the trendy shit, the Adelsons, Koberger. We're going to do all that shit. I'm a true crime guy now. It's my jam. So, I mean, it works out. I mean, it's obviously a niche. People dig this shit. And I guess I'm good at it. So maybe this is what I was meant to do. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Next up. We have Kelly sends $10, goes, good luck tomorrow. I was planning on attending to support you and Karen, but I forgot about my son's ortho appointment, so I can't. I'll be at your next hearing. Fingers crossed there won't be one because of all the indictments being dismissed. Yes, that is the goal, Kelly. No more hearings. So maybe tomorrow will be the last one. We'll see. $10 from Kristen says, have you seen the Truth Revealed channel with Sergio Denaro? I haven't. Over 8 months ago, he assessed Brian Higgins' testimony and indicated the garage being a key area of this crime. Sergio was a former interrogator and behavior analyst with the CIA. You should take a look. Yeah, send it over. I'd like to see it. Thank you. Somebody sends $15, goes, Jen swears to tell the whole truth and nothing but the tooth. She doesn't have the whole tooth yet. Like, she's got 75% of the tooth, but Sandra sends $25 and says, today was a good one for Karen. It's funny that Bev says Hanky can do a robust cross on 𝗪𝗏. Those guys are unshakable. It will just make Hank look horrible in front of the jury. Totally agree. And Jen trying to cry, talking about John was pathetic. And can someone please tell her to stop sucking her teeth when she talks? Yeah, we're going to get to her. But yeah, in the 𝗪𝗏 thing too. But I mean, my take on it, what have I been saying, guys, for months now with Auntie Bev? Her number one characteristic is she is gutless. She is not the type to go against, to make a bold. She's not bold by any. She's the opposite of bold. She's a coward. She's gutless. She doesn't have it in her to do something bold. And like dismissing the case is a bold move, right? That's bold. Dismissing some murder indictments. She ain't going to do that. But is she, at the same time, another bold move would be, of course, not letting 𝗪𝗏 testify. That's bold as fuck, you know? And I knew it. And so basically all this shit for the last 3 months with 𝗪𝗏, all this 𝗪𝗏 drama, that's all it was a bunch of drama that she loves every second of. She encouraged this shit. She had grave concerns. She was trembling on the bench. She put sanctions in. She got a chance to like lecture the defense, which she loves to do. Loves it. She did all that. And then at the end of the day, she did nothing. And she knew she was going to do nothing. And then she had the audacity to lecture, I guess, both sides, but mostly the defense, about no more nonsense in my courtroom. Bitch, Hank Brennan was the one that brought this shit up. And you could have just been like, no, this is stupid. This is all stupid, Spanky. so it's like she's just gutless at the end of the day. So it's just she's into drama. That's all she's into. And go ahead. Yeah, you're right. Do what you did without the jury there. Do it in front of the jury. See how much they like you after that. Compare you to 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗃. Yeah, make yourself the villain. I'm telling you, 𝗟𝗟 was the most underrated attorney ever last trial for them. Like, we didn't realize how good he was because people felt bad for him. It's like he was like the lovable loser. And they were like, yeah, he's giving his best shot. He didn't have any crazy tricks or anything like that. He worked with what he had. Wasn't much. And never really, like, he got a little fresh with Lucky Loughran and the Arca guys a little bit. He got a little fresh with them, but he didn't go like full fresh, you know. But I don't miss 𝗟𝗟. Let me be very clear about that. I prefer Hank. I prefer Hank doing this trial because he's so much faster. It's like night and day how much faster he is with this cross-examining of witnesses. It was painful with the what if anything and just the stupid questions. Hank is direct and to the point with his questions, which I do appreciate. He's also doesn't object as much. 𝗟𝗟 objected over everything. Everything was an objection with him. Hank doesn't object as much. Of course, we haven't gotten to the really good witnesses yet, so give it time. All right, next up. Rebecca sends $5 and goes, I think you may have your lighting second set to gradient. Your tone changes through your broadcast, typically more pink as you continue. FKR, maybe that's why pink for Free Count Read happening in a week or so. For what it's worth, free Turtleboy too. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, I move. Sometimes I'm pink. I don't know what's going on, but whatevs. Okay. Anyway, back to this. 𝗚𝗚𝗄𝗄𝗃 sends $25 and goes, Carrie said on direct that she estimates it's an 8 to 10 minute ride from Meadows to Fairview. I know she did say that. And I thought Jen said that. Did you say Jen? I thought it was Jen that said that. But yeah, and that would be a problem because that means that she didn't get back there in time. She didn't leave at 12:32 then, if she got back at 12:36. I understand. And to me, I don't even think she got back at 12:36. I think they're making a mistake. But I'll take it. You got to take what they give you. If you 12:36, okay. There's also a voicemail of her in the garage at 12:42. You hear the heels clicking. And the library footage disappeared from 12:37 to 12:39. So I think she got home at like 12:41. But you say 12:36? Okay. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. And did I miss your turtle chat, Sarah? I think I missed it earlier. Hopefully we get to it. If I don't read it, let me know. Francis sends $5 and goes, there's a garage door access on the front porch. All views from Google Maps are blurred. No pictures on Zillow listing. The garage is magically not on the blueprint they put there. Only found a pic of the door on Mass Live. I find that somewhat odd. Yeah. You know, I know some shit about the garage. Maybe it'll come out at trial. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I might have, not saying I've been in that house before, but there's some shit. We'll see. Just leave it at that. I don't want to overplay my hand here. All right, back to this. But you know, I don't know nothing about that. Let's just put it that way. I don't know anything about the garage or what's in the garage. Nothing. Okay. Sham sends $10 and goes, only Jen McCabe can play Jen McCabe in the movie. I know. It's going to be tough to replace her. Thank you. Let's see. Katie sends $5 and goes, will you tell the defense team? I think they are amazing. I will tell them that, Katie. You're amazing, defense team. I'm sure they're watching. I can't wait for Mr. Jackson to cross Jen. It's going to be epic. Standing with Karen. Say strong, girl. I appreciate that, Katie. Frank sends $5 and goes, I work in the elements on many very cold days. My phone would be dead by 8 a.m., 2 hours after being exposed to freezing weather. I could literally watch my battery percentage go down like a slow timer. I couldn't keep my phone warm enough even while I was working, and my body temperature was warm. Exactly, Frank. And everyone can relate to that. Everyone who's had a phone in cold weather can relate to that hard truth that you just spilled. Thank you. Kathy sends $5, goes, hey, doctor, does anyone believe that the peanut butter and bread was for Jack-o'-lantern Jen's niece? I think it was Marshmallow Matt. I don't think there was actually peanut butter in the car. I think the whole thing's a lie. So there's that. Thank you. Jody sends $10, goes, doctor, please give a shout out to my husband, Hondo. Shout out, Hondo. Woo. What would you call me? Sends $10 and goes, can you confirm or deny whether Kerry Roberts texted the witness advocate about the McAlberts getting rid of their phones? If someone else contacted him about it, or if he reached out to them, I can't talk about those until they're unimpounded. I can't wait for AJ to destroy Jen's testimony and for your tweet updates on it. Those are the best tweets to see when I can't be watching the trial. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Swing and a Whiffin Springer said it's $10 and goes, longtime listener, first time turtle chatter. I heard that the infamous Bella's mom was in the house this week. I've never seen her. I have not seen her in court in a while. Ashley Brady, she has a real cunt face. She is. I wrote a story about her stupid son when he threatened me. She's just a real trash bag, Ashley Brady. So there's that. And I imagine it might be so beautiful, it wouldn't hurt to look at, so they couldn't broadcast. Show us Bella's mom. I've shown you before. Please and thank you. Your work is iconic. Her name's Ashley Brady, TV Daily News. Ashley Brady. Let's see. That's her son, Cam Sanchez. Buddies with Colin. That's Ashley Brady right there, looking miserable at Karen's arraignment. There's Jen McCabe comforting the Sullivan slut who's fake crying. Okay. There she is. That's Ashley Brady. I mean, she looks okay, I guess, but she's miserable. Miserable. You are the scum of earth, her son tells me. May as well be domestic Taliban supporters. Only fat fucks eat Dominoes. Can't wait till you're in jail. Wallet gets filled up with XXL Tootsie Rolls. Wild, you can't afford your own defense. Keep preying on the weak, bitch. Okay. Crazy, you think you're above the law. Can't wait until somebody puts Fun Dip on your lip and makes you call them daddy. It never called me. You can pick the corn out of my shit. Oh, there's Chip. There's Chip. All right. Anyway, so that's Ashley Brady's spawn. That's Bella's mom. She sucks. Okay. Got some cash apps here. Read a couple of these bad boys. And then we'll do some Jen McCabe. Terry sends $20 and goes, what is the meaning of give us McDonough? It's a long story. It's a long story. But basically there's this guy. So Sean McDonough used to run this channel called Going Through the Emotions. And he is a former DEA guy who we all thought was like this kind of like legit guy. He said he had 5 guys and he was like working on solving the case. And he's got a couple guys in the Canton Police Department. And they were going to flip. It turned out he was just like the boomer of all boomers who just loved the sound of his voice. I don't think he's ever left the Gulf. And he grew up in Canton, but he's just a complete fraud and full of shit. And when I got out of jail, he wouldn't take my phone calls. So he was really popular. People really liked him. And he wouldn't take my phone calls when I got out of jail because he thought that I flipped on him because he thinks he's like this all kind of like really powerful person that like Proctor and Buchanan are afraid of. And so he had some quotes. So he thought that when I went to jail, that I only got out of jail because I flipped on him. And so this is his fantasy version of what happened when I was in jail.
I know how the system works, okay? And I'm not saying that Turtle was infiltrated. I heard there's rumors that he's an informant. Listen, do I believe it? No. But I'm not going to take the risk. I'm not going to take the risk that 𝗬𝗄𝗄𝗃 or Tully or say, give us McDonough, because let's face it, I'm the guy. I'm a former law enforcement guy. Trust me right now. There was something that was said a long time ago when I was coming up as a rookie. You can have Pablo Escobar, okay? You can go up.
When he was a rookie back in the day. He's the guy.
How can 𝗬𝗄𝗃 and Tully and all these other cops, Proctor, say, this guy's killing us, right? I did a thing. Proctor, you're going to jail. You don't tell me that they can induce people to come after me. I get it. It's fine. But I'm not going to be done like a Bobo, all right?
And then there was this.
But I can tell you right now, I'll say it, all right? Hey, Aidan, give us fucking McDonough and we'll go easy on you.
That's what he thinks happened to me in jail. That they're like, Aidan, give us McDonough or we're going to torture your ass. The waterboarding starts right now till you give us McDonough. And he thinks that I gave him up, whatever that means. I'm like, oh, I'll give you McDonough. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called Going Through the Emotions. Go get him. Just leave me alone. Okay. So that's the story. Frank sends $5 and goes, how many times Lally objected should be a trivia question? I wonder what it was. Thank you, Frank. Catherine sends $7. It goes, you are making history. You kick ass. Well, I appreciate that. I used to teach history. Now I make it. L. Woods sends $25 and goes, Paul O'Keefe continues to harass his online girlfriend who has receipts. Know who she can give them to? She can give them to me. He is harassing her family members now. He's also threatening her during his brother's trial. Yikes. Paul, what's going on, my dude? Chill out, bro. I know you're mad about that, but you got dumped, bro. You got played. And so I would just quit while you're ahead. Thank you. Candy sends $5 and goes, was Jen's testimony completely different or not? It was just enhanced. We're going to get to that. Crystal sends $5 and goes, also, Jen McCabe is a murderous, lying cunt. Whew, no lies detected at all. Thank you. Denise sends $20, goes, 𝗍𝗄𝗃 poetically led that douche to dark shame. Yes, he did. And now he's gone. Now it's done. You know what I mean? It's like he was one of their best witnesses last time. He's gone. Destroyed. Peggy sends $10, goes, from Chief One. Thanks for all you do. Well, thank you, Peggy. Carl sends $10 and goes, sending good vibes for you. Keep doing you. Well, thank you, Carl. Amy sends $25 and goes, any chances that the feds talk to Whiffin? Doubtful. Thank you very much, Amy. EMC sends $10 and goes, it's all up to the jury now. Scary, really. It is scary to have these random people decide your faith, but I have faith in them. I mean, you have no choice. All I know is this. I've already seen the jury. I've seen how they're reacting. There's no way they're going to find 12 at all. There's too many people who have already have tells that they're going to vote to acquit Karen Reed. And we got a long, and tomorrow's Jen McCabe. Wait till Michael Proctor gets up there. What are they going to do then? Seriously. So anyway, that's that. If anyone else wants their message read, click a link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $UncleTurtleboy. Looks like the Celtics are going to win this game. They are now up by 18, 11, 29 points with 53 seconds left. I think they got it in the bag. Huge night for Jason Tatum. 11 of 11 from the free throw line. 35 points. They got the bench guys coming in now, scoring. All the white guys on the bench. Hauser, Cornette, Peyton Pritchard. And I got in a thing with my kids about this the other day. So we got in a debate. so their race is a new concept to them, you know, not new, but like it's visual. You can see who's black and who's white. And, you know, we were talking about, my son says to me the other day, he goes, Daddy, black people are faster than white people. And I'm like, on average, that's definitely true. I go, you saw because he watched the marathon and he's like, they're all black. You know what I mean? Like, wait till you see the 100-meter dash, son, at the Olympics. He said that to me. It's just these visual observations from a 7-year-old. Black people are faster than white people. I can't argue with that. And what am I going to say to that? I'm like, yes. And so then we started talking about the Celtics, and like there was one time where it was like an all-white lineup out there. It was like Kornet and Pritchard and Hauser and I forget who else. Shireman, I forget. There was 5 white guys out there. Anyway, then he goes, well, Jason Tatum's white. I'm like, Jason Tatum is not white. Jason Tatum's black. And then my daughter's there too. And she's like, no, Jason Tatum's white. It was a 2-on-1 thing. And I'm like, what? Jason Tatum is not white. And so then they're looking at him and he's standing next to Jaylen Brown and they go, Jaylen Brown's black. I go, well, yeah, he's black, but so is Jason Tatum. He's just blacker than Jason Tatum. If I go, first of all, I don't even know if we're supposed to be having this conversation, but I'm like, it's just funny. The concept of race to them. It's like, they don't even fucking get it. They're like, Jason Tatum, they think he's white. And I'm like, no, Jason Tatum's, he's black. And then I go, look at his hair. It's a whole different hair texture. There's like, that's the dead giveaway is the hair. You know, it's nappy. Like there's a fucking, it just is. I don't know what else to explain it to you. And I'm like, yes, he is lighter skinned than, so we Googled it. My son, he loves to Google shit. Is Jason Tatum black? And it said, yes. Okay. So I won that one. And then we started talking about Derek White. And I'm like, Derek White's black too, right? We all agree Derek White's a black man. And so I'm like, okay. And then it was 2-on-1. It was like, no, Derek White is white. And no, first of all, Corey, fuck off. I see a couple people saying this, move on, quit while your head. Now, I talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about on this show. And I don't give a fuck who it offends. There's 10,488 people. If I'm offending 10,487 here, I don't give a fuck at all. Like, let me be very clear. At fucking all. And absolutely nobody tells me what to talk about on my show. Nobody. So this is my fucking rant right now. And you're going to sit there and fucking swallow it and go nowhere. That's it. Okay. So anyway, back to Derek White. So Derek White is black, right? And so then we Googled it. And if you Google, is Derek White black? The answer is no. Did you know that? Is Derek White black? I mean, at least dude, look at this shit. And they were right. I lost. Did you know that? I'm like, no, Derek White is not black. He is Caucasian. What? Did you guys know that? Did you guys? I thought Derek White was a black man. He's white. Did you guys know that? He's a white man. Come on. I don't know. I was just blown away by that. I thought Derek White was black. Am I wrong? Am I the only one that's like new? If you're mixed, I mean, that counts as being black. I'm sorry, it does. But anyway, that's my thoughts on race tonight. It's my race talk. Okay. So anyway, back to this. If you're not a Celtics fan, you wouldn't get it. I forget that my audience is like international now. You know, it's like, this is some sport ball talk. We're talking about the Celtics. But, you know, Derek White's a hell of a basketball player. He works hard. I teach my kids to be like him. Anyway, back to this. That's what Google says. So we'll see. All right, so let's talk about Jen McCabe. Let's get into her testimony here. Look at the anticipation for Jen. They were just like, here she comes. Alleyway. Oh my God.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Just look at her. Look at her whole fucking display here. The hair has some highlights to it. She's got a spray tan. The blouse opened up there with the cross showing. What a fucking presentation this is. This fucking evil cunt. Wow. She's just such a con artist. She can't even hide it.
Good afternoon.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Hi, I'm Jennifer McCabe, 𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗍𝗍.
Ms. McCabe, how old are you?
I'm 49 years old.
Are you married?
Yes, I am married with 4 daughters.
Without
With
detailing
4
your
daughters.
children's names, can you tell us a little bit about your family?
Sure. I have 4 daughters that are 16, 17, 19, and 21. 2 are in high school and
Oh,
2
God.
are in college.
In raising your children, was your family active in local sports?
Yes, all 4 of my daughters played multiple sports from when they were young. 2 now are playing in college. My husband and I both coached them. My husband.
So all this is right here is just her trying to convince the jury. I couldn't have done it. Look at me. I'm a suburb. Like, what defines you? Oh, I'm a great mom. I'm just your regular, average suburban mom, making ends meet, raising my 4 girls. They love sports. I coach. I do this, blah, blah, blah. I make the orange slices. I cook brownies. I do all this shit. This is like, she's so overdoing it here. It's fucking crazy.
Coached them from when they were young up through 8th grade in soccer, and I coached them in basketball.
Without telling me your address, what town are you from?
I'm from Canton.
How long have you lived in Canton with your family for?
I was born and raised in Canton.
Of course
and
you
now
were.
I'm raising my family there.
Of
Your
course.
family their whole life, you've raised them in Canton?
1 year we lived in Stoughton.
Notice she looks at the jury. Nobody looks at the jury as much as she does. She looks at the jury the entire fucking time and is just like, you guys believe me, right? Like, she constantly wants to look at the jury. Nobody does it as much as her. This is what she's all about, man. This is what she was like on that morning that we saw in dash cam videos. The arms, talking to Seraph, every fucking cop she could find, calling Kerry Roberts a million times, calling Peggy O'Keefe a million times, getting in there. She can't fucking help it. It's just who she is. She is a fucking con artist. She was born, like, this is in her. She's fucking evil. I'm telling you, she is the most evil bitch I've ever seen in my life. And you know how I know she's evil? She doesn't reject crusty panties. She's like, I will accept you. And I can pretend to be your friend. We can go to Red Lobster once in a while. And you can come to Carrie Lama's pool. And we can be chummy.
With my daughter.
Who do you live with now?
I live with my husband and my 4 daughters.
My 4 daughters.
Can you briefly give me a little bit more background on your children's school and your participation in that interaction with your children, raising them?
Yeah, so I was a teacher, and then
I was
once
a
had
teacher.
Children, I stayed at home with them, and basically was just kind of like your typical, I don't know, small town mom.
I was just your typical small town mom. She can't even hide it. I'm just a regular I'm just a typical small town mom. You know what typical small town moms don't do? They don't participate in murders. That's why she's saying that. She's trying to be like, I can't possibly look at and talk about race. I'm white. I'm a white woman from the suburbs who coaches soccer. I don't murder. No, we don't murder. You're in the wrong. Go to Roxbury if you're looking for women who participate in murders, not Canton. I'm just a regular Canton woman. I'm white too. Did I mention that? Leave me alone. That's what this is all just a fucking act. Holy shit.
I was the room parent. I coached them.
I'll allow it.
Oh yeah, I'll allow it.
When I coached, I drove the kids back and forth on my team, would take them places, etc.
And so she was a teacher till she had kids. Her oldest is 21. So you haven't had a job. She hasn't had a job in 20 something years. So you just leech off your husband. I saw somebody say that, like, some troll posting this, like, oh, Jen is everything that Karen wishes she was. Oh, I don't think so. She lives off of a man. A man makes she does nothing. Like, she was stay-at-home mom. Your kids are sick. The youngest is 16. Why the fuck is she staying home? Why can't she get a job? Why doesn't she work? What does she do all day with her time besides drink coffee with 𝗕𝗏𝗯 and chit chat with the girls and go to the salon? Like, this is her. Oh my God, I hate her.
The growth of your family and raising your children. At some point, did you meet a gentleman by the name of John O'Keefe?
Yes.
Share with us meeting John O'Keefe.
Sure. When my third daughter was in kindergarten, she became friends with John's niece. And during that kindergarten school year, unfortunately, Kaylee's mother and father both passed away, and John moved in the house and became Mr. Mom.
Mr.
When
Mom.
John took over guardianship of the children, did you assist in an active role in helping him?
Yes. Kaylee and my daughter were very close. So she would come over and play. My daughter would go over there. Kaylee would come and have sleepovers. A lot of times it would be on Friday nights. I would have Kaylee. And
I thought we were hiding the names of the kids, but I guess we're not doing that anymore. But okay, cool.
Then another individual would have Patrick.
Had you known John O'Keefe well before he took over guardianship of the children?
No.
During the time when he was the guardian of the children, did your relationship, not just with his niece and nephew, but with him, grow any closer?
Yes, we became very good friends.
How close of friends did you become over the years?
Well, throughout the years, obviously, when they were younger, we talked more, just about the logistics of CCD, pickup, drop off, basketball,
CCD,
sports. But then
CCD, she mentions. CCD is where kids learn about Jesus and shit like that. First communion, all that stuff. Of course, she mentions CCD. Everything she says is by design. Everything.
He would also call me, about, as the girls got older, the girl drama, or, the hormones and things like that.
Oh.
He would also come over, and hang out and have a beer and, just talk about whatever was new in his life or going on, or,
Did he ever actually do that? Was there ever any time where John O'Keefe went over Jen McCabe's house to have a beer with her? I just can't ever picture that happening. Like, hey, you want Jen? Can I come over for a beer? I mean, everything these people, again, these are the same people who claim that told Matt Phelps that every time the garbage man comes, 𝗵𝗄𝗆 brings coffee out to him and they drink coffee for 15 minutes with the garbage man. They slum it a little bit with the garbage man. Right.
Just the day in and day out struggles of his, life and raising the kids now and figuring it all out with, work and family and all that.
Has anybody ever seen a picture of them together? I've seen a picture of him with Higgins. I've seen a picture of him with Brian Albert. I've never seen a picture of Jennifer McCabe and John O'Keefe. Prove me wrong, I guess. Show me a picture of Jennifer McCabe, who they're close friends, right? They hung out all the time. But yet they called Karen the babysitter with benefits. That's funny. Yeah, real close friend. The man in the snow. A man in the snow. Right.
Leading into January 28th of 2022, so the jury understands, how close was your friendship with John O'Keefe at that time?
He was a very good friend of mine that I knew I could call for anything.
Thank you for clearing that up, Ms.
I
Watts.
want you to take us forward to January 28th, 2022. Do you remember that day?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember it well?
Yes.
Take us to the early morning hours, January 28th, 2022. Did you learn there may be weather or a storm coming?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We all saw the report that there was going to be a big storm and nor'easter. So we all knew that basically all the Saturday activities were going to be canceled.
That includes sports?
Yes.
Was and is the sporting events of the children a big part of your life?
Yes. Back then I had, two in high school that played 3 sports, and they played club sports as well. And then the 2 middle school played club sports and town sports. So most of our weekends were taken up by sporting events.
Sporting. Yeah.
It was kind of my plan team, and she was having a team dinner at the house. So I picked up pizza, got desserts, set it up for them. And then
everything she says is just like, it's all a package to be like, I am a white suburban soccer mom. I am just a regular, typical person. I am so ordinary. I don't do murder cover-ups. It's all part of the scam. That's all this shit is.
left with my daughters and my husband, Matt, and we met some of the parents from the high school basketball team at a local pub to grab a bite and a drink before the basketball game because my other daughter played on the high school girls basketball team.
What time was the basketball game set for that night?
I believe it was 6 or 6:30.
Did you and your family go to the game?
Yes, we did.
After the game, what happened?
After the game, I drove my daughter home. My sister, Nicole, sent me a text and said that she was going to be at the waterfall, and it was my nephew's birthday. He was going to meet up.
Yeah,
Remember
okay.
What time that plan was made?
Yeah.
I don't. My sister sent me a text at some point letting just
Okay.
a local town bar.
Remember
Yeah.
about what time you got to the waterfall?
About 9 o'clock.
When you got there, was there anybody there that you knew?
Yes.
Okay, now take us inside the waterfall. When you get there, who do you see?
I walk in and I see Julie and Chris Albert, my niece Caitlin, my sister Nicole, and my niece's boyfriend Tristan.
You said you saw Julie, Nicole, Albert in the waterfall?
Yes.
Were you related to either of them?
Nicole is my sister.
So Brian Sr. would be your brother-in-law?
Yes.
Also, you mentioned there was a niece?
Yes, Caitlin.
Is that Brian and Nicole's daughter?
Yes.
You mentioned the name Tristan. What's his relationship to Brian Albert's niece?
He's now her fiance.
Was there
Oh,
anybody
he's
else
a
I missed?
piece of work.
That's all who was there. I know.
Okay.
Drinking?
I know I ordered a beer. They had appetizers on the table. I'm not sure whether I had any or not.
Were you drinking alcohol that night?
Yes.
As you're spending time with your family, did the night grow?
Yes.
Did you stay at the table where everybody was eating, or did you move inside the bar?
We were pretty much right around the table.
Did anybody you knew join you or join the group at some point?
Yes. A little while later, Brian Albert and Brian Higgins joined us at the waterfall.
Oh, yeah.
So when you first got there, was Brian Albert already there?
No, he wasn't.
Is that your brother-in-law, Brian Albert?
Yes.
You knew who he was?
Yes.
So when Mr. Albert and Mr. Higgins joined the group later, did they come hours?
Yes.
Do you have an estimate how many drinks you had, alcoholic drinks you might have had?
I don't. I don't know. Maybe 2, 3.
Throughout the night?
I thought that was an interesting comment. The first time, I don't even remember she talked about how many drinks she had last time. She had 2 or 3 drinks. Everybody was drinking that night, right? Were they stiff drinks? Whatever. I find that interesting because Jennifer McCabe's Apple Health data shows that she was awake at 4:53, that she did not go to sleep. She was pacing around at 3:30. Her heart rate is indicative of somebody who was not sleeping, right? But let's suppose she was sleeping. That's you got a little buzz that night. Maybe you even got drunk because you were drinking when you went to Brian Albert's house, weren't you? So what's the first thing you want to do when you come home? If you're Chubbs McCabe, you make a sandwich, right? If you're somebody like Jen, you eventually pass out, right? And after you've been drinking, it's a different kind of passing out. It's a little bit, it takes a little bit more to wake you up, and waking up is painful. So we are to believe that she got home at 2:30 and then, kind of passed out, and Karen Reed calls and she just answers. She didn't sleep through it. Nothing, just answered. Well, that's funny because her sister Nicole was also drinking that night. And her sister Nicole, she called her at 6:07 and 6:08. And they claim that even though the call logs say answered, they claim that Nicole slept through that. And Brian Albert also slept through his phone call that he missed from her at 6:23 a.m. So Nicole Albert doesn't wake up after getting 2 phone calls from someone at 6:07 and 6:08, while a crazy woman or hysterical woman outside is running around screaming that her boyfriend's dying. And there's a whole bunch of red lights and cops and radios and all that stuff, and none of them wake up. None of them. But Jennifer McCabe all you got to do is call her once. She just wakes up after a night of drinking. I found that interesting. But go ahead.
Night, were you feeling any effects of the alcohol?
Not that I recall, no.
When the group was together, you mentioned a number of people have joined. Were you joined by other people later?
Yes.
Who were you joined by later?
John O'Keefe and Karen Reed.
And you talked about your relationship with John O'Keefe?
Yes, earlier, yes.
Did you make plans with him, or did he just show up?
I believe he had started the conversation about the night with Chris Albert.
Chris Albert is a different Albert than Brian Albert?
Yes.
How was the relationship between them?
Brian Albert and Chris Albert are brothers.
Was Chris Albert there when Mr. Higgins and Brian Albert arrived?
Yes. Actually, Chris, did I miss him? Because Chris was there with Julie. Did I? I'm not sure if I said that when I was meeting everyone at the table. Good mood. Everybody was just out having a drink. We all knew the storm was coming tomorrow, and just a typical average night.
Average. Everything's average. Notice she's always just trying to push this. We're just regular, typical, average. Just not murderous. No, everything is by design with this woman.
You said you were going to see Brian Albert Jr. for his birthday. Was Brian Albert Jr. at the waterfall when you got there?
No, he was not.
Was Brian Albert Jr. there anytime when you were at the waterfall?
No, he was not.
Without relating a conversation with some other person?
For whoever's birthday it is, and then whatever, aunts or cousins are around. Approximately 11.
When they first arrived, did you see them?
Yes.
Where did you see them coming from?
I saw them walk in.
When they walked in, did you react in any way?
Yes, I was happy to see them.
Why were you happy to see
Happy to see
because
them.
I loved John and I liked Karen.
I loved.
So you were happy to see John?
I loved John. You don't know what love is, bitch. You never loved John. You wouldn't do what you did to John if you loved them. Okay. And she's just overdoing it. I loved him. Okay. Say he was a friend. That's good enough. You loved him. Who the fuck? Oh my God. What a con artist this woman is. Oh, she's just evil. Look at her. Look at her.
Yes, very.
You were happy to see the defendant?
Yes.
Do you remember your first interaction with either John or the defendant that night inside the waterfall?
I believe John walked over to where I was, kind of to my end of the table, and then maybe Karen had walked to the other end of the table. But I would assume I probably hugged both of them when I saw them.
I'm going to ask you not to assume if you don't know. That's okay.
And then she also mentions, like, I liked Karen. That's a new thing she's adding. Like, oh, I would never frame Karen Reed for something. I kind of liked Karen. Oh, yeah, sure you did.
You said that you had known the defendant as well.
Yes.
Do you remember how long she had been dating John O'Keefe up until that point?
I know I met her in July of 2020.
Had you had a chance to spend time or interact with her over that time before that night at the waterfall?
Yes, I had.
And share with us some of the moments or some of the reasons that you would interact.
The first time I met Karen, John had reached out. We would do pool days with him and his niece and his nephew. So he had told me he was dating a new girl and he wanted to bring her over. He said that she had multiple sclerosis. I also have multiple sclerosis. So he thought that that would be something we could, talking to someone my age. That when it was time for pickup, they would come in, have a couple drinks. Same thing for like Halloween.
Wait.
So it was really nice to have somebody to relate to.
Oh my God.
Then moving forward, we would see them, it was my daughter's birthday party. When it was time for pickup, they would come in, have a couple drinks.
When it was time for picking the kids up, they would come over and have a couple drinks. Did I hear that right?
People who came over, we had a pool day. I liked Miss Reed immediately. I thought we hit it off. It was really great, talking to someone my age that also had MS, because I didn't really know a lot of people who have it. So it was really nice to have somebody to relate to. Then moving forward, we would see them, it was my daughter's birthday party. When it was time for pickup, they would come in, have a couple drinks.
They would come in and have a couple drinks. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Why you come to pick your kids up at a pool party and you're like, oh yeah, let's have like 3 shots. What?
Same thing for like a Halloween party, after basketball games.
So you spent time both with John and Miss Reed?
Yes.
Did you spend time with the defendant separately without John around?
No.
Did you become friendly with her?
Yes.
And were you friendly that night?
Yes.
After John and the defendant entered the bar and you agreed, did you interact or spend time with Miss Reed at the waterfall?
Yes, I did.
And speaking of the defendant, do you recognize her here in the courtroom?
Yes, I do.
Could you kindly point to her and describe an article of clothing she's wearing?
She's sitting right over there with that black
Evil.
shirt or blue.
Evil.
Is she between Attorney Jackson and Attorney Yannetti?
Yes, she is.
When you were at the waterfall that night, do you remember who you were speaking to or where you were spending your time?
As to earlier in the night or after?
I'm sorry, after Mr. O'Keefe and the defendant arrived.
Yes, Miss Reed came over and spoke.
But just her mannerisms too. It's like she's not good at this. I mean, she's good, but like too good. Like she always just looks. She seems on edge, like she's just hiding something and like really holding something in. It just doesn't seem authentic, cool, laid back. Like, who was cool on the stand? Colin Albert. Like, be like Colin. Just don't give a fuck. Or Tristan. Or the women just seem very on edge. Julie Albert seemed really on edge when she testified. Nicole Albert was extremely on edge. They're just all on edge, the women, when they testified. Brian Albert was cool as a cucumber when he testified. So was Higgins,
Spoke to me because I had seen her the Saturday before, and she had told me how she had started a new medication, and it was giving her some awful side effects. And I said, I'm shocked they put you on that.
She is. She's trying hard.
Conversations you had, but about the moment that you were in. Did you spend time with Miss Reed that night?
Yes, I did.
Inevitably, did you drink more alcohol as the night went on?
I believe I had Like I said earlier, a couple of drinks, 2, 3. Not
Couple
sure.
of, couple of.
Have a shot of alcohol?
I do not believe I had the shot. No.
Did you see the party, the group of friends and family doing the shot?
I was in the bathroom and walked out, and they were doing or had just done a shot.
With the court's permission, I'd like to display parts of Exhibit 22, which has already been.
Okay. Look at the waterfall. Yep.
I think the guy right there, where she just is Brian Higgins.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could go up a little bit, Ms. Gilman.
Okay.
Right from the clothing. And play the video.
Yeah. Doing shots. Yeah. Okay.
Could you continue, please? Move ahead to 11:26:50, please. If you could stop there, Ms. Gilman. If we could hone in or circle
The
where
fuck
you were
is this?
previously, where we saw Ms. McCabe.
Who's Is that Chris Albert dancing?
Blurry. If you can, and if you can't, please let me know. Can you see whether you're in that area?
I believe I am. Yes.
We're a little bit ahead right now. So I'm going to ask you to move forward to 11:46.
Yes, it looks like they're all, toasting or doing a cheer before they do a shot. I didn't see myself in the video. I don't believe I was.
Thank you. You go.
At first, Miss Reed was asking if we could go up the street to 𝗵𝗄𝗄.
Yeah.
𝗵𝗄𝗄 is a sub shop that's owned by Chris Albert.
Yeah.
Can we go up to 𝗵𝗄𝗄? Can we go up to 𝗵𝗄𝗄? She wanted just to go up and, Chris makes food and then we were going to go she wanted us all just to go up there and eat and hang out.
That wasn't an uncommon occurrence for the group to sometimes go to that pizza shop after hours, was it?
No.
Did the group decide to go to the pizza shop?
They decided they weren't going to go.
When you received the invitation to the group to go back to Brian Albert's house, did you decide whether you're going to go home or go back to your sister's house?
Yes, I decided I was going to go to my sister's house.
Object to going back.
No.
Had you been to your sister's house before?
Yes.
No, I've never
Yes.
been there
Do
before.
you know the address of where your sister lived?
Yes.
And so after that conversation,
Oh,
did
God.
you stay at the waterfall for a little bit or did you leave immediately?
Okay.
Probably left after.
Yeah.
Yes.
And was your plan to go back to your sister's house?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Before you left, who else
Yeah.
was going to go back to your nephew and your sister's house?
Brian Higgins and my niece Caitlin.
A little after 12, did you leave the waterfall?
Yes.
Do you remember that night leaving?
Yes.
Before you left, did you talk to anybody in particular?
Yes. Miss Reed and then Mr. O'Keefe.
Did you speak to them inside the waterfall?
I walked out with Miss Reed and we spoke at the doorway and then John joined us.
Did you invite Ms. Reed to come with you
I did, yes.
to your sister's house?
After midnight.
If I could have Exhibit 22 again. Right there, please. You left the waterfall with your husband. You said you were driving. Did you stop anywhere along the way before you got to your sister's house?
No.
Tell us what you see when you get to your sister's house. What are the weather conditions
There we
as
go.
you're driving there?
First thing.
It's
First
starting
thing.
to snow to the point where it's starting to accumulate. It's on your car. It's just, getting on the street.
Is it light? Is it heavy?
It's light at this point.
Light.
How long does it take to get from the waterfall to your sister's house?
5 to 8 minutes, depending on lights and weather, etc.
5 to 8 minutes from the waterfall, which is further than One Meadows Ave. But okay, go ahead.
When you first get to your sister's house, while you're still in the car, describe what you see.
My wipers are on. I'm just looking out the window and it's snowing. It's dark.
Anybody in the driveway? Any cars in the driveway that you see?
Oh, when I pull up to my sister's?
Yeah.
As I pull down the street, I take a left into the driveway and there is a Jeep that's parked on the street. And
Of course, the first thing she remembers is the white Jeep that Ryan Nagel, Ricky D'Antano, and Heather Maxon did not see, which I still don't get. I assume they're just putting that Jeep there now to say that that the people in the truck were obstructed, I guess, that they wouldn't have seen the inside of Karen Reed's car, I guess. It seems like, but I think there's more to the Jeep story that I'm not getting. I still don't get the lie about the Jeep. There was no Jeep there.
there's maybe a couple cars in my sister's driveway.
What do you do when you arrive at your sister's house?
I go in the house.
Now, there are a couple doors at your sister's house?
Yes.
Is there a front door?
Yes.
Is there a side door?
Yes.
Which one's closer to the driveway?
The side door.
Which door do you go in when you get to your sister's house?
The front door.
Was anybody with you when you went in?
My husband, Matt.
You walked in together?
Yes.
Tell us the first person you
She
met.
does seem anxious. She's very
When I went in the
anxious.
house, probably my niece was at the table, and then I saw my nephew Brian.
Was there anybody else you saw at the table?
Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson.
Oh God.
When you walk in the front door of the house, is it what table? Is this a living room table, a kitchen table? You said there was a woman by the name of Julie Nagel?
Yes.
And then another woman, Sarah?
Yes.
You know her last name?
Levinson.
Julie Nagel, did you know her when you walked in the house that night?
I had met her a few times.
Had you spent time with her? Were you friends with her?
No, I just had met her a few times, and she'd watched my dog for me when my nephew couldn't.
When you would go away?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Friendly enough that she watched your dogs?
that's the extent of it.
How did you know of her?
Just from being in the town, going to different sporting activities, and
Everybody knows the bagel.
just being around.
You said your nephew Brian was there as well in the kitchen?
Yes.
This was his birthday?
Yes.
How old was he?
I think he was turning 20.
How was everybody when you first came in?
My niece Caitlin, Sarah Levinson, Julie Nagel, and Brian Jr. were all at the kitchen table.
You notice they're not being asked about Colin this time around. I don't think his name's come up once. That's an interesting tactic. Lally would do that all the time with these people. They'd ask about, like, did you see Colin there? No, definitely didn't see Colin there. It's like he's waiting for the defense to bring it up, if at all, because he knows they're kind of handicapped by it this time around about what they can mention. So I don't know if the defense is going to bother with the Colin angle this time. I believe 100% Colin was behind it. But again, we're not here to prove who killed John O'Keefe. We are here to free Karen Reed because we know she didn't do it. That's what we're doing here.
My sister was over, I think, cleaning the counters.
Snuffleupagus. That's Sarah
In
Levinson.
that TV room that you can see from the kitchen because there's a wide opening.
If you walk in the front door, would I look left or right to see the TV room?
You'd look right to the kitchen, and then through the kitchen's the TV room. But you could look, and when you walk in, you can see because it's open.
Is the TV room in any way the same age as him?
Yes.
Were they drinking?
Yes.
Was there music?
Yes.
And when you went in, did you spend time with the group?
Yes, I sat and drank.
As you were in the kitchen, and you were speaking to them, did you have any drinks that night?
I believe they brought me over a White Claw, but I didn't have more than a sip of it. I really wasn't.
Oh,
I was at
okay.
that point where I just didn't want another drink.
As you were in the kitchen, were you expecting anybody else?
We had mentioned it to Karen and John, and I had actually just spoken to John, so I was expecting them.
So when you saw John O'Keefe in the waterfall, that wasn't the last time you spoke to him?
No.
You had spoken to him, was it on the ride to your nieces? I mean, to your sisters?
Yes.
Did you call him or did he call you?
He texted me and I believe asked something like, where to? And since I was driving, I called him.
When you called him, what did you tell him? What did you guys say?
I just said they live 34 Fairview Road off of Chapman.
Do you know if John O'Keefe had ever been to the Albert home before?
And he was trying to find it.
Trying to find the address?
Yeah, okay.
It's at the bottom of the street.
So you used Bella's house as a
Oh,
of designation to try to guide him?
They love to bring up this Bella's house thing. She's just trying to. Oh, Karen was so jealous. She was so jealous of Bella's mom. Oh, Ashley Brady. Oh, the town whore. Oh yeah, she was so jealous of her. Karen Reed ain't jealous of any of these bitches. Karen Reed looks better than all of them. She's more attractive physically. She's wealthier. She's more successful. She drives a nicer car than all of them. Karen ain't jealous of any of these hoes. Stop it.
Get to your sister's house?
Yes.
Tell us who Bella was to John.
Bella is my daughter and John's niece friend. So they're all, so Bella is friends with my daughter, John's niece.
Okay. And was there any relationship between Bella's mother and John that you knew of?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the sidebar. Can we talk about this hoe?
Be after 12:15, but before 12:30, approximately.
Wait, what'd you
The
say?
second phone conversation you had with John, do you know about what time that was?
12:18.
I don't, it would be after 12:15, but before 12:30, approximately, between that.
Were you still driving when you had that conversation?
Yes.
And at some point you told us you arrived at your sister's home and went in.
Yes.
I'd like to move forward now to when you were inside the house. Tell us generally when you first got there and saw everybody, what were you doing?
I just sat down at the table. I started talking to them. We were listening to music. Typical night.
Typical.
Anything?
How many times does she say typical? That's what she's going for. We're just regular people having a typical night. We have a couple drinks, then we go to our kids' sporting events and we have a couple drinks, and it's just typical. It's just a typical night. We don't murder. No murdering. No, that's not typical. That's not typical at all.
Stand out as far as music or interaction with the group?
No, we were just laughing, telling stories. At one point, I'm not sure if it was at some point, my other nephew had been over my house and had shown me this video on his phone, and it was a family inside joke.
So this whole thing about raining men too, again, this is all part of these details like this are all part of her plan to be like, we're normal. This is, we're just a fun family. Yeah, my sister, she's silly. Yeah, she's the fun sister. Everybody can relate to that, right? Like the fun sister who drinks a little much and likes to dance and is a little goofy. It's all part of the whole fucking lie, part of the scam about we're just a typical family. And they kind of were a typical family until they murdered our motherfucker. Until the murder came along. Typical people can murder too. It happens. It doesn't happen as often as people with long criminal records committing crimes, but this was not planned. This was they were just supposed to rough them up a bit, and it went too far. Something bad happened, and this one is like, I got this. I got this. We're going to protect our young. We're going to take care of this. That's all this was.
The video, it was a music video from a long time ago. And so I was telling my other niece and nephew, oh my gosh, you have to see this video. It's hysterical. And then we started playing it and watching it.
What was the video?
It's Raining Men.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did that get a lot of playtime during that get together?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have one sister who sometimes has a little too much to drink. Takes out an umbrella and will dance.
Yeah.
So it's a family joke.
While you were at your sister's house, what area of the house were you spending time in?
Yeah, I was in the kitchen.
What was the mood of everybody in the house, as far as you remember?
Everybody was in a great mood.
Was there any fighting?
No.
Any arguing?
No.
Any violence?
No.
Was it a celebratory mood?
Yeah.
If you're in the kitchen of that house, can you see outside from the kitchen area?
They had blinds or something down, but
Everybody in the celebration, did you have a chance to look outside?
yes,
And when you looked outside, what did you see?
I saw a dark SUV out front.
Did you know whose SUV that was?
I believed it was Karen's.
Could you see who was in it?
No.
At that point of night, what does the weather look like from the front door?
It's dark and it's snowing, and I could see, brake lights.
Did you see if that SUV moved at all?
I didn't see the SUV actually move, but I saw it in a few different locations.
How many times did you look out?
Can't give you an exact number of how many times I looked out.
3.
I can tell you I saw the vehicle first straight out from the front door. Then I saw it up at the flagpole, and then I saw it further up from the flagpole.
Wait. How do you see it further up from the flagpole? Wait a minute. Wait, did that happen last trial? I didn't pick up on this? The flagpole is by the tree line. How do you see it further up than the flag? So that's 3 times she saw it. By the mailbox, by the flag, which, by the way, wasn't there a Jeep there? By the flagpole, and then further up than that. You would not be able to see it if it was parked in front of the Asian house. There's a tree line there blocking. You wouldn't be able to see it. But she knows that the government's theory is that the car was parked up there. So she's just trying to make that theory sound more legitimate. This is a new element. I don't remember her saying that last time. I don't.
Were you studying the car at all?
No, it was quick glances.
Did you have any reason to study it?
No.
And by the way, if she looked out, the government's theory is that Karen dropped John off at the flagpole, then pulled up 62 feet, stopped, put it in neutral, and then shifted it into reverse and gunned it. So if she actually saw the car while it was in front of the Asian house, that means with moments later, the murder happened and she missed it. She just looked away at the last second and missed. Not only did she miss seeing it, she didn't hear it.
Expecting was going to happen.
I was expecting John and Karen to come into the house.
Oh, yes, he will.
Did they ever make it in the house?
Oh,
No,
yes,
they did
he
not.
will.
As you were waiting, were you doing anything else in addition to waiting for them to come in?
Yes, so I was sitting at the table. Someone made mention of a car out front, so I got up, went to the door, looked out, and then I would go back to the table, and where we were just all laughing, talking, playing music.
Regular.
Just hanging
Typical.
out, not really thinking much
Typical.
about anything.
Typical.
Did you ever reach out to John when you thought the car out front was the defendant's car with John in it? Did you ever reach out to him?
Yes, I did.
How did you reach out to him?
I texted him.
Do you know if there was a phone call that was made to you before 12:30? A 7-second phone call?
From John?
Yes.
I don't.
You mentioned you had spoken to him about directions. Is that the last time you heard his voice?
Yes,
When the car was out front, did you exchange text messages or were you simply texting him?
I was texting him.
Do you remember what you were texting him?
The first time I said here,
What do you mean by here? Was that
like
exclamation point?
here question mark, because that's when I saw the car.
You were wondering whether that was him?
Yes.
Did you send any other text messages that you can remember?
After I saw the car move locations, when I saw it go up to the flagpole, I said, pull behind me.
And do you remember any other communications you had with him? Was he texting you anything?
No.
Did he ever text you again that night?
I think that was a 12:27 or 12:29. She said that she sent that text message, but it could be wrong.
He never texted me again.
Never called again?
No.
Did you continue to text him over the next 15, 20 minutes?
Here comes the fake cries, the fake
And so
cry.
at some point, did you realize that John O'Keefe and the defendant weren't coming in the house?
Yes, when the car was gone.
Did you ever go outside through the storm down to the flagpole to speak to them?
No.
Why not?
Why would I?
I was just asking.
I had no reason to.
So when you were in the house, at some point, did you notice that the car was gone?
Yes.
Were you marking the time or keeping track of it?
No.
After you didn't see the defendant's car anymore, did you stay?
Yes.
How long do you think you stayed for at the house?
I stayed till about around 1:30, 1:45-ish.
Did anybody else come in the house up until 1:45?
No.
Did people leave at certain times?
Yes, people did leave.
Who was the first to leave?
Brian Higgins.
Do you remember about what time he left?
I don't.
And after Mr. Higgins left, you know who left?
I'm not. I believe it was us, and then my niece Caitlin was also like at the door. It was kind of in a row. Brian left, and then a little bit later, I think it was myself, Matt, Julie, and Sarah left. But Caitlin was at the door. I believe she was waiting for her ride.
How much longer after Mr. Higgins left did you leave?
Maybe I honestly can't say. I think he was there for a while I was there. So maybe he left anywhere from 15 minutes, approximately 15, 20 minutes before I did, or maybe a little more.
You mentioned that you
She's got her whole timeline. She knows exactly that Brian Higgins is on video. She didn't say this last trial. Brian Higgins is on video at the Canton Police Department at 1:35. So if she left at 1:47, that means Brian Higgins had to leave the house. We'll just say at 1:30, maybe a little more. Like, dude, they have it all figured out.
You had left the waterfall after midnight?
Yes.
And you had phone calls with Mr. O'Keefe along the way?
Yes.
Do you know that there are phone records with your text messages and phone calls in them?
Yes.
And do you know whether your phone records reflect the time of your calls with Mr. O'Keefe?
Yes.
And your text messages?
Yes.
When you were texting Mr. O'Keefe, when the Lexus or the car was in front of the house, rather, was Mr. Higgins still there?
Yes.
What are some of the things that everybody did along that night before you left? What happened in there?
What happened inside the house?
Yeah.
Nothing. We basically just sat around the table, talked, laughed, listened to music, chit-chatted.
Celebratory?
Chit-chatted,
Yes.
yeah.
Was there ever any fighting?
No, none at all.
Any arguing?
None at all.
Any
No.
physical interaction?
We killed a man.
None.
Did
When you decided to leave that night,
Did you kill a man? No, kill a man. No.
say around 1:45-ish?
Typical.
Yes.
That's not
When you
typical.
left around 1:45, was there any events that happened that night that would cause you unrest or excitement or your heartbeat to raise?
No.
When you decided to leave, you and your husband.
We were.
Notice he's talking about, did anything, he's going to point to her heart data. Nothing in her heart data shows that her heart data went up. He's going to use that whole thing. So that alpha health data is legitimate. He likes that alpha health data. He doesn't like the one showing up and down 3 flights of stairs. Doesn't like that. And I don't know if he's going to look at the heart data that shows that she was awake all night.
We're dropping off Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson, and then we were going home.
Had you planned on dropping them off earlier in the night?
No, when we got there, Julie's brother had pulled up to pick them up, and
I won't ask you what was said because you weren't there.
Oh,
but
okay.
At some point, did you come to an understanding that you would give them a ride home?
Yes.
Did you offer?
Yes.
Who was going to drive home between you and your husband?
Matt drove home.
When you left, I want you to describe as you step out into the driveway or the walkway. Was it the front door or side door, if you remember?
I walked out the front door.
Is the weather like it was when you first got there?
No, it's picked up.
Tell us what you mean by it's picked up.
So as I walk out, you kind of go, the walkway is to the left. So I walk down the steps, I go to the left. The snow was coming, it was cold, the wind was picking up. So I kind of just like curled up and ran to my car quick to get in.
What part of the car did you get into?
Front passenger.
Who was driving?
Matt.
And where were the other two people?
Sarah and Julie were in the back seat.
Just listen to how quickly it's like she just knows, like, she watches the show. She knows all the weaknesses. She knows that they're going to be like, okay, so I am going to stress now. I am going to stress that I wasn't, because everybody wants to know why I didn't see a body. So I am going to answer that question before it's even asked.
Who was in what spot?
I'm not exactly sure.
So both of the young women were in the backseat?
Yes.
Was there any conversation when you got into the car?
The peanut butter.
We got in the car and they were teasing me.
Why were they
They're
teasing?
teasing.
Because I had like bread and maybe peanut butter in my car.
Why did you have bread and peanut butter in your car?
I had my niece for the week, and I was dragging her like to all my kids' sporting events. So we'd go from like one game to another game to a practice. So sometimes instead of always giving her McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, I'd try to throw her a peanut butter sandwich.
And they were making.
Who is the niece? Who is this niece that's eating all the peanut butter sandwiches? I mean, she probably has a bunch of nieces. I don't even fucking know. But it's just immediately. First of all, they're teasing you about the peanut butter. Like, ha ha ha. Oh, Jen, you're such a loser with your peanut butter. What? The story gets fucking more retarded every time I hear it. Every time. Oh, yeah. I didn't notice did you see the dead body on the lawn? No. Peanut butter jokes were going on. It's too many peanut butter humor. You wouldn't understand.
Making fun of you?
Yeah.
It's typical.
As
yeah.
the car backs out of the driveway, tell us what you're doing.
I'm talking to the girls.
You just moved your head.
Yes.
Does that mean anything?
Yes.
How?
So they were both sitting behind me. So I was like turning.
She moved her head. It's like she's already got this whole, dude, she's such a pathological liar, bro. Fucking liar.
And, chatting and talking.
After your husband pulls out of the driveway.
And she didn't know them. That's the thing.
If the house.
She didn't know 𝗂𝗏 Levinson. So she didn't even know 𝗂𝗏 Levinson. But 𝗂𝗏 Levinson, she is getting a ride from her for some reason. They live on the other part of town. It's completely out of the way. And they're just like, and by the way, 𝗂𝗏 Levinson lives near John O'Keefe. So by going to 𝗂𝗏 Levinson's house, you get to go by John's house and maybe see if the lights are on. Is Karen awake? Because if Karen's awake, that's not good. Hopefully Karen's sleeping. We want Karen to go sleepy pie.
Is on my right. And you're driving. Are you in the passenger seat closest to the house or furthest away?
Passenger seat closest.
So you're driving. If you look at a picture of the house, you would be driving from right to left?
Yes.
So as you start to drive, or your husband starts to drive the car, what direction are you looking in, if you remember?
The back seat.
Did you drive by the front of the house, do you know?
We pulled out of the driveway and went up Chapman.
Okay. And your husband and you passed by the front of the house?
Yes.
Did you pass by the flagpole?
Yes.
Were you looking at the flagpole?
No.
No.
And how dark was it at that point?
It was dark.
Very dark. Oh,
Snow.
yeah.
Yes.
Coached.
As you're passing the flagpole, do you hear or see anything remarkable?
No, I'm not really paying attention. I'm just chatting to the girls, and Matt's
Yeah.
just focusing on driving.
When you're talking to the girls,
He's just focusing on driving. That's even less believable than the peanut butter story. The fact that all three men who drove by, Higgins, Tristan, and Matt McCabe, were all driving and they have no peripheral vision. Their line of looking does not allow them to see anything that's not directly in front of them. Their eyes do not wander at all. At all. They don't look around at all. Nothing. Nothing. Fucking insane. I mean, who believes this shit?
Making fun of you. What's the mood in the car?
We're all laughing and joking.
Where do you go next?
We drive Julie Nagel home.
After you drop off in Senego, where do you go?
We drop off 𝗂𝗏 Levinson.
Is the weather constant?
Yes.
After you drop off the young woman in separate spots, where do you go?
We went home.
Can you tell us when you get home what happens next?
We go in the house. I go up to bed. Matt makes himself a snack and then joins me upstairs.
Do you have a telephone?
Yes.
An iPhone?
Yes.
When you go to bed, do you stay up at all?
Yes.
Do you use your iPhone?
Yes, I do.
What were you doing?
I texted a few people and then I did a couple of Google searches.
And what were the searches for?
One, my daughter had played in a basketball game earlier in the night and it was a very good game. So I went and I read the report on it. And then my other daughter had an offer to play on a basketball team. So we had to make a decision about whether or not we were going to accept the spot. So I was just looking up that
she's just
club.
Other than those regular
she's
searches,
just a regular house mom. I mean, look how nervous she is. Look at her, dude. She has so many tells that she's lying about this shit. No, not lying at all. No, just regular. We're regular. We're typical. No murdering. No, didn't Google. How long did I have cold? No, Google my kid's basketball game. That's all I care about. I'm a typical mom. Oh, it's all part of the act. She's overdoing it.
that one would do. Was there anything remarkable about what you were searching at 2/27 that time frame?
No.
After you were looking at websites for your child's sports, what did you do?
I put my phone down and went to sleep.
And up to that point, had there been any discord or fighting or arguments in your world?
No.
Peaceful night?
Yes.
No,
Did you go to
just
sleep
typical.
Yes.
Did you sleep through the night?
I typically get up to go to the bathroom, so I could have gotten up possibly to go to the bathroom.
Did anything remarkable happen in the early morning hours of January 29, 2022 that changed that peaceful mood into something else?
Yes.
I want you to share with the jury the first thing that happens that changes everything.
At 4:53, my phone rings and I look at my caller ID. I look at the phone and it's Kaylee, John's niece. John's niece. And I say hello. And she said, well, basically she relayed to me that. Next question.
When you pick up the phone, could you hear a voice on the other end?
I heard a voice and a lot of screaming.
And the voice you heard, is that Kaylee, John's niece?
Yes.
And the screaming, Was it a man or a woman screaming?
It was a woman.
How loud was that person screaming?
Very loud.
Could you make out anything that person was saying as they were screaming?
My name was screamed a lot.
Yep.
And then the other individual ended up getting on the phone with me.
And who was that person that was screaming in the background?
Miss Reed.
How long was she screaming for while you were speaking to your niece before you spoke to her?
The entire time I was speaking to 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆, she was screaming.
Describe her demeanor.
Miss Reed's?
Yes.
Jen!
Oh my
And then
God.
she's screaming that John didn't come home. She left him at the waterfall. She was hysterical. It was very hard to follow what she was saying.
How long did that first call last?
I don't like the impression thing. I don't think that does her any good. It just makes you sound bitter. Jen! Over. Why not just say, yeah, she was screaming my name. She's saying, Jen. I mean, why add that part on? It's all part of it. Look how nervous she is, though. She's just so on edge. I am not who's buying this shit? Dude, tomorrow's going to be, she is you could tell she is ready to blow up. Tomorrow is going to be fucking awesome, dude. The fucking begins tomorrow. We are going to fuck tomorrow.
I'm not sure how long, maybe possibly a few minutes, but it was loud enough and long enough that my husband shot up in bed thinking one of my kids had come in the room screaming.
Without saying what your niece said, could you describe your niece's demeanor when you first spoke to her? I mean, John's niece's demeanor.
I would say 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆 sound concerned, uneasy.
Okay. During that phone call, other than the screaming and the screaming of your name, did the defendant give you any information other than she had dropped John off at the waterfall?
They had gotten into a fight. She had left him there and he didn't come home.
And when you were woken up, were you in a sleep when you were woken up?
Yes, I was sound asleep.
What was your mental state like when you first woke up and got that call?
She said that they had gotten into a fight. Okay, well, hold on.
I would say 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆 sound concerned, uneasy.
Okay. During that phone call, other than the screaming and the screaming of your name, did the defendant give you any information other than she had dropped John off at the waterfall?
They had gotten into a fight. She had left him there and he didn't come home.
She had gotten into a fight. Notice she has to add that in there. Nowhere is there anything. There is nobody that has said that they got in a fight that night. Nobody. Except Jen McCabe is saying this. That Karen said that, oh, she told me she got in a fight and left him at the waterfall. What?
And when you were woken up, were you in a sleep when you were woken up?
Yes, I was sound asleep.
What was your mental state like when you first woke up and got that call?
Well, I had been up late. I had taken my medication that I take for my MS, so I was definitely a bit groggy when I.
So you're going to find something out tomorrow about, remember this, called everyone except her sister. Or did she? Or did she? We'll find out tomorrow.
First woke up. So immediately I just wanted to help her. She was hysterical. 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆 was upset. So I went into that kind of mom mode of what can I do? How can I help?
My mom mode.
Thinking, okay, well, if you left him at the water.
I went into my mom again. It's the constant messaging about I'm just a regular mom. Just went into mom mode. That's what I do. Oh,
waterfall. Let me think who was still there, or how can I help you? How can we find John?
Did you have a plan when you ended that first call?
I did. I knew 𝗵𝗃 had still been at the waterfall when I left. So I thought if Karen and John had gotten into a fight, maybe Chris had walked out of the bar and Chris lived local to the bar. Thought maybe they walked back to Chris's together.
So what did you do?
So I called 𝗵𝗃's wife, Julie.
Did you speak to her?
No, she never answered.
After you had a moment to make a phone call and think about things, did your head become any more clear?
It did. And I was, reminded by my husband that we had seen Karen and John's car outside of Fairview.
When he reminded you, did you independently remember the text messages that you sent to John earlier that evening?
Immediately, I was like, oh my God, you're right.
Did you remember that you had seen what you believed to be the defendant's car in front of the house and near the flagpole?
Objection. Watch the form.
Okay. What did you remember? What came to mind after you spoke to your husband about your memory from earlier that evening?
The minute he said it, I remember seeing the SUV and then all the text messages that I had and the phone conversation with John.
So after the defendant spoke to you and said she had left the defendant at the waterfall and you had time to think about your memories, did you react or do anything with that?
Yes, I believe I called 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆 back.
Why did you call 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆?
I didn't have Miss Reed's phone number.
When you called 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆 back, did you speak to anybody?
Yes, I believe 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗆 and then Miss Reed.
When you first spoke to 𝗂𝗄𝗆, could you hear anything other than 𝗂𝗄𝗆?
The screaming.
Was it any different or was it similar to the first time you spoke by phone?
Similar to the first time.
Regarding the demeanor or intensity, had it changed at all?
Not at all.
You mentioned the first time that you had that phone call, the defendant was screaming your name. Jen,
Yes.
Jen. Was she saying your name in the second call or was it just general screaming?
my name. And then when she got on the phone, I had told her, Karen, I saw you guys outside of my sister's house. And then she told me she didn't remember being there. And then she went on to say, she started saying, could I have hit him? Did I hit him? I don't. And then she just was just all over the place, like screaming my name, screaming so many different things. She was hard to follow or understand.
When she was saying to you, did I hit him? Could have I hit him? Was that before or after you informed her that you had seen her out front of your sister's house?
It was after I told her that. She also informed me that she had cracked her taillight.
Oh, that's a new addition, man. That she told her on the phone. Last trial, it was, I told you at the house. This is new. That is definitely new. And it's more nefarious. Wow. Fucking evil. She hates Karen Reed. She's doing this out, like she just is holding it all in how much she hates her. And Karen Reed, God bless her, after everything Jennifer McCabe has done to her, keeps it cool when she's talking about Jen. She never seems this on edge ever. Karen's never on it. Karen is never like this at all. She is in control, much more in control than these people.
She told you that?
In one of the conversations I had with her in my bedroom, yes.
When you told her that you had seen her out front, she had said that she didn't remember that night. Was that before or after she was saying, did I hit him? Could have I hit him?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
She was telling you about that she didn't remember that night. Was that before or after you had told her about seeing her car?
When I said I saw her at Fairview, then her response was she didn't even remember going there.
Did she ever deny that she came to Mr. O'Keefe's house? I mean, to your sister's house?
No.
When she told you or said to you, did I hit him or could have I hit him or something like that, did you have any idea what she was talking about?
No, I didn't pay attention to it.
When she told you that she had cracked her taillight the night before, did that have any significance at that time to you?
No.
So in telling you these different things, did you ever piece them together at that time?
No.
What was your primary motivation at that point?
I just wanted to help her because she was hysterical. Kaylee was very upset, so I wanted to help her, and I wanted to find John.
So after she told you these things about whether she could have did hit her in the light and not remembering, did the conversation end or did it progress?
At some point, I was then going into like, okay, well, if she brought him there and left him there, where was he? Because he never came in the house and she doesn't know where he is. So now where could he be? So I started thinking there was another gentleman that was supposed to meet us out at the bar who John was friends with. So I thought, okay, well, in my head, I'm thinking maybe they got into a fight. John got out of the car and he connected with this.
Time to get Tom Beatty on the witness stand if you're the defense, because she did not talk about Tom Beatty before in the first trial. And now she's saying that Tom Beatty was supposed to meet up with them that night. Tom Beatty supports Karen Reed. I've met Tom Beatty. He's a great guy. He 1000% believes in her innocence, just like the Currans and other and the 𝗀𝗄𝗄𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, which is why they are no longer on the witness list. They believe. Look at that picture. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. They 1000% believe in her innocence. So, yeah, get it. I bet you he refutes that story that he was supposed to meet up with. We'll see. We'll see.
Guy, because he was at a party on the street.
What was that person's name?
His name is Tom Beatty.
Did you call him?
Yes.
Did you get a chance to speak to him that night?
That morning?
Yes.
No.
Did you call around anywhere else?
So Tom Beatty is the father of Erin Beatty, who is a 16 or 17-year-old girl at the time, who Colin Albert called at 12:33, presumably looking for an alibi. And Erin Beatty did not answer. She has since reported, and her father has reported what Colin Albert did, that he called her unexplainably that night. And as a result of that, they have been harassed and threatened by the Jennifer McCabes of the world. And Jennifer McCabe and Jill Thomas reportedly told Erin Beatty, why don't you put a dick in your mouth instead of talking so much to a child? This case, you don't think these people are animals. So yeah, please bring Tom Beatty up. I'm all for bringing Tom Beatty up as a witness. Let's do it.
I believe I called my sister. I called John. I called Tom Beatty. I called his daughter.
You called John O'Keefe's phone?
Yes.
Did he answer?
No.
Did it go right to voicemail?
I don't remember.
Did you text anybody?
I honestly don't remember if I texted. I primarily think I was just trying to call as many people as I could and try to figure out what happened.
So you had two conversations at this point with the defendant while you were still home.
Yes.
Was there any further phone calls that you had before you did something?
I'm not sure if she, I know I went downstairs to make coffee because my plan was to go with my husband. I said, come on, let's just go over to 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗄. Let's see, maybe John's there. He passed it on the couch. I'm not sure if
She went to make coffee. Let's get in the car and go to 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗄. What? Wouldn't you just be like, I'm sure he's fine. Go back to bed. You're like, let's get in the car. Let's go out. Why wouldn't, if you were her, wouldn't you be like, he's fine. He's probably just a 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗃, he's sleeping it off. Instead, she's like, yeah, let's go out looking for him. And somehow the man of the house, Matt McCabe, is like, yeah, wife, go out looking right now. Just, yeah, in a blizzard. What kind of man is Matt McCabe to let his wife go out and do this?
Karen called me again or not. It's a little foggy because there was so many calls and everything.
And so that morning when you're receiving calls, did something happen?
Karen showed up at my house.
How did you know Karen showed up at your house?
I could hear her screaming out front.
And about what time is this?
5:35.
Approximately 5:20, 5:30. I can't be sure.
Were you worried for John at this point?
Not particularly, no.
Were you screaming?
No.
Now at this point, this moment when she,
If you weren't worried for John, then why did you go out looking for him? Why didn't you just tell Karen he's fine? Go to sleep. Isn't that what you would say instead of going out looking? No, but she had to be with, she knew Karen was onto them. And she's like, I have to be there when they find the body. I have to be there. I have to talk to police.
Outside of your house yelling early morning hours. Did you know a person by the name of 𝗑𝗄𝗄 Roberts?
I knew of her. I'd met her once.
Were you friends with her at that time?
No.
Had you socialized with her at that time?
No.
Had you ever seen her before with John?
Once.
Tell me about that.
Years earlier, as I said earlier, I used to take Kaylee on Friday nights, and Kerry was the one who would take Patrick on Friday night. So we would each have the kids. And to thank us, one day John told us how he got a discount at Reebok and to get our kids shoe sizes, and he was going to buy us all sneakers, just as a way to say thank you for helping. So we all went to the store together, and then John took Kerry and myself to the hillside for lunch.
What?
How many years before this moment was that?
The hillside.
Oh gosh. Well, I think that's when my daughter was in kindergarten or first grade, and at this point she was in 8th grade. So like 7 years.
Had you ever spent any
all these fucking stories, all these fucking stories.
Were you friends?
All of these stories are meant to normalize her. That's all these are. It's all part of her plan. This is Jen McCabe 2.0. That's what we're seeing right now.
Point.
No.
How would you consider your relationship with Miss Roberts on that morning when Miss Reed arrived to your home?
I had met her once, and that was the extent of it. I wouldn't say I knew her at all beyond that one time I went out with her.
I want you to take us back now to when you first hear the defendant in your driveway yelling. When you hear that, do you hear any words, or is it general yelling?
So I hear yelling. So I was downstairs making coffee. I go to my front door and I open it.
Making
and she's
coffee?
Screaming, Jen.
That's the other thing. Why are you making fucking coffee? What? Who's got time? I thought it was an emergency. You're going out looking. Let's make fucking coffee. None of this makes any sense.
She's screaming that 3 times, and then she was saying, "We have to go to Fairview." A lot of the "Could I have hit him? Did I hit him?" Just she was on repeat.
What did you do?
My husband came running down the hall and was like, "Tell her to shut up. She's going to wake up the neighbors." And then I said, "I'm just going to go with her. I'm going to go look for John." And then he yelled down, saying something like, "You can't be driving around in this weather, with a broken taillight."
When you saw the defendant at your front door, had the weather changed overnight?
Yes.
Was it different?
Yes. Now the snow had intensified. It was almost like it was dark outside, but it was like whiteout conditions.
How dark?
Dark. I mean, it was dark. It was like 5:30 in the morning.
What was the visibility like?
She was just kind of running all around. The driver's door was open. So I told her I was going to drive because I thought she was too hysterical to drive. In the meantime, all of a sudden there was a car at the end of my street and there was a plow behind it.
The car that came to the end of your street, do you know where it went?
I meant the end of my driveway. I'm sorry.
When you say at the end of your driveway, did it pull into your driveway?
No, it just kind of stopped. Yes.
How did you learn who was in the car?
Because I said, "Who is that?"
Did you ask the defendant, or did you walk
I
up?
asked the defendant, and she told me it was Kerry Roberts.
Did you meet Kerry Roberts face to face in your driveway that morning?
Yes, I wouldn't say we met. It was more of a the plow was coming, so then she was having to move down the street, and then either Karen called her or she called Karen, but they were on the phone, Karen's phone over the car, so they started talking.
Did you get into the defendant's car?
Yes, we did. I got in the car with.
There was a plow?
When you got in the car, you were in the driver's seat. Was Miss Reed in the passenger front?
Yes.
You said there was an open call. Is this something you could hear on a speaker?
Yes.
At that point, had you had a chance to go and look at the taillight of that car?
No.
Did you have any interest in the taillight at that point?
No.
There was an open call.
That's a great question. How could Matt know the taillight was broken? He wouldn't see the back of the car from inside the house, would he? But her story is, of course, that Karen had told her. So that's going to be her story, is she told Matt this. Okay.
I mean, who?
Karen and Kerry Roberts.
Can you describe what you heard in that call?
Karen was saying that she wanted to go to Fairview, and Kerry Roberts was instructing her that no, we weren't going to be going to Fairview, and she kept saying we got to go to your sister's house. And
it's easy to have an answer for everything when you know what the questions are going to be. Like, that's the thing. She knows exactly what they're going to grill her on, and she's got nothing but time to come up with answers.
Kerry Roberts said, no, we're not going to be driving around in this weather in 2 cars. Let's go back to John's. Let's go to Meadows. Let's go see if he's there. That was kind of the conversation. And then Karen was doing a lot of screaming, and Kerry was kind of yelling back at her to shut up.
Oh, that's
Who was
nice.
in charge of the situation that morning?
Kerry Roberts.
Were you in charge of it?
No.
Did you weigh in or make any decisions on where you were going to go next, or were you just a listener?
I just listened. Kerry said that Kerry's kind of a take charge person. She said, we're going to Meadows. So I said, okay, I drove to Meadows.
Now, at this point, you didn't know Kerry Roberts other
No.
than that meeting?
Yes, correct.
And you agreed to follow her?
Yes.
So tell us what happened. Take us through the drive.
She might have followed me. I'm not sure, but we drove back to Meadows, pulled into the driveway.
So you knew where Meadows was? You had been there many times for the kids?
Yes.
You think Miss Roberts may have followed you?
Yes.
What was the weather conditions as you were driving?
They were awful. It was, I was driving very slow, cautiously. It was dark. It was hard to see. It was that type where the snow is like coming at your window.
How long of a ride was it from your home to John's home?
Approximately 5-6 minutes.
Was there any other phone calls while you were in the car with Miss Roberts, or did the phone calls end?
I believe that was it.
Can you describe the defendant's demeanor on the trip from your house?
Oh, yeah, she's hysterical.
She was just screaming, yelling things. It was almost like everything she said 3 times. And
Oh,
she just
3
went from one
times.
thing to the next. She was quite hysterical.
Do you remember what she was yelling about?
About going to Fairview, asking, could she have hit him? Did I hit him?
How many times did she raise the question, did I hit him? Could have I hit him?
A good amount.
Did you ever speak to her about that?
No.
At some point, did you finally get to John's home?
Yes.
When you got to John's home, who pulled in the driveway first?
I did.
Where did you pull in respect to the driveway?
I just pulled straight in next to the garage.
Did you see where Miss Roberts went?
I believe she pulled in behind me.
After you pulled into Meadows, John's home, and you stopped, what happened next?
We go into John's house.
When you went to John's house, did you all go in the same way?
Yes, we went through the garage.
And before going into John's home, did you do anything?
Before entering into the house?
Yes.
I took off my shoes.
You took off your shoes?
Yes.
Why did you do
Wait, I thought you checked the tail light. Wasn't that their story last trial until they got busted by the ring camera video? And here we go with the fucking shoes.
Yeah.
Here we go with
you
the
always had to
fucking
take your shoes
shoes.
off of John's. He didn't want you to track. He would have yelled at me for tracking snow in his house.
Did you see if
What do you
Kerry
yell
took her
at me?
shoes off or not?
I believe she did.
Did you see whether the defendant?
In a fucking emergency. Like, oh yeah, G would have yelled at us. It's like, I think it's an emergency, you know? The only one who's acting like this is an emergency is Karen Reed.
Her shoes off or not?
She just walked right in
How would you remember that?
because I thought it was strange.
What was your purpose when you went into the house? What was the number one thing that you were worried about?
We were looking for John.
Anything else?
In
on your
the
mind when you went
fucking
into-
house.
Also, I knew Kaylee was there.
We were
At this
delaying.
point, did you have a close relationship with Kaylee?
Yes.
Do you still?
Yes.
What did you do when you went in the house? Where did you
Still
go?
close with her.
I walked through the kitchen, and then I kind of peeked into the TV room. I walked through the dining room, and then before I went up the stairs, I kind of peeked into a living room. I went up to
Yep.
the top of the stairs. I peeked
Exactly.
into
That's
John's
exactly
room,
right.
and then I went into Kaylee's room.
Did you ever see John?
No,
Why did you go to Kaylee's room?
because I wanted to go check on Kaylee.
Did you have a chance to speak to her?
I did, yes.
What was her demeanor at that point?
She was very, she was in the bed. She was holding on to her phone. She was terrified.
Was she screaming?
Terrified?
No,
Did you provide her any comfort?
yes. I told her that I was going to go out. I told Kaylee that I was going to go out with them and I was going to find John. And I promised her that everything would be okay.
Look at her. Look at her pretending to hold back tears. Psychopath.
At some point, you left Kaylee?
Yes.
You see that fake sniffle?
I went back downstairs and then we went out to look for John.
Before you left John's house that morning, did the defendant show you anything?
Yes.
Just compare her to Michael Camerano. Just that's all you got to do. Compare the two testimonies. Michael Camerano is an actual friend of John O'Keefe, who seemed very upset to this day. You could tell he's not comfortable talking about this. Even Jason Becker, who didn't know John, and just look at the way they handled it and then compare it to her. It's so different. It's so different.
When we were out in the driveway, I had thought it was when we went in, but I think it might have been when we came out. But regardless, at one point when we were in the driveway at Meadows, Karen showed myself and Kerry Roberts the cracked taillight.
Did you or Miss Roberts get close to the taillight at that point?
Yes, we walked over and the taillight was missing pieces.
Did Miss Roberts have any comment about it?
Yes, Miss Roberts.
So she had a comment. Next question.
What was Miss Roberts' demeanor at that point?
She was frustrated with
Yep.
Karen, had said that, had said that Karen basically was telling her to shut up. You were so drunk, you could have hit anything last night. And then Kerry, I remember just thinking, all right, let's go. And I remember Kerry thinking, oh,
Well,
someone's
let me
going to
not
get,
ask you what Kerry-
sorry.
We don't want to think what somebody thought.
Okay.
She's telling her what Kerry is thinking. Here's what Kerry's thinking. And he's like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. He knew that was going to be an objection. No, we don't want to do that. Yeah. But isn't that so telling?
I want to know what you heard and what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can.
At some point when you were looking at the taillight with missing pieces with the defendant and Miss Roberts, did you see Miss Roberts point anything out?
Yes.
Share that with us.
She pointed a piece that was sticking out and was concerned that someone was going to catch their coat or something on it.
And during that time when the defendant is showing you the taillight with missing pieces, was she saying anything about it?
No, not that I can recall right now.
You mentioned at some point she was saying, could I have hit him after you left John's house? Was that in the car or before you got in the car?
I know for a fact it was definitely in the car, was one of the times, yes.
And Miss Roberts' car is parked behind.
Wanted to go, thinking, let's go to Tom Beatty's, but Miss Reed was pretty adamant that we go to Fairview first.
Yeah, it was
You
real.
said that at times there was some arguing or bickering or Miss Roberts was raising her voice to the defendant.
Yes.
Who made the decision to go to Fairview?
Ultimately, Kerry said, all right, we'll go there, almost like to shut her up.
When you got in the car, where was everybody? When you got into Kerry Roberts' car, where
Yes.
was everybody sitting?
Kerry was driving, I was in the front and passenger.
So the dastardly Karen Reed was like, let's go back. They're like, we don't want to go to Fairview Road. And she's like, no, let's go back there so we can find the dead body that I left there. And he's still alive. And like, the people who are delaying going to Fairview Road have a reason for John to want to be dead. The people who want to get there don't. So that's Karen Reed. It's just like fucking unbelievable.
Karen was in the back, in the middle, kind of peeking her head through between us.
I want you to take us through the ride from John's house at Meadows until you first get to Fairview. So as you pull out of, or Kerry Roberts pulls out of John's driveway, what is the mood inside that car?
I'd say it was starting to get tense because Karen was just continuously screaming. Kerry was trying to focus on driving, and Karen's behavior in the back of the car was a bit erratic.
When you say erratic, can you give some detail? What do you mean by that?
Yes, she would go from sitting back to leaning up in between us, and she would yell Kerry's name 3 times. Then she would yell my name's three times.
Every
and then she would
3
yell,
times.
could I hit him? Did I hit him? Over and over again.
When she was repeating these questions or phrases that she was yelling, did you respond in any way?
I don't believe I did, no.
How about Kerry?
Kerry was telling her to shut up and to buckle up.
Oh, she's nice.
Was she buckled?
I don't believe so.
You began your drive from Mr. O'Keefe's home at Meadows to Fairview. Is the weather getting better?
No, it's getting worse.
Is the visibility still difficult?
It was terrible.
As you began that drive to Fairview, was there anything that you were doing on the way?
Yes, I was just kind of looking out the window
This is
intently to
wild.
see if I saw anything.
What were you looking for?
I guess John, which I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't know where the hell he was.
I thought you weren't worried about him. Now you're the one looking for John. That's interesting.
Did you have any difficulty seeing from the car the side of the road?
Yes.
Did you see what direction Ms. Roberts was looking when she was driving?
Well, she, it was hard because she needed to focus on driving because the conditions were that bad.
Did you have a chance to see the defendant on that drive at all?
Yes.
Was she looking out the windows with you?
No, she was popping back and forth and screaming.
What the fuck does that mean? Popping back and forth. So Karen wasn't looking out the window, but she sees John's body somehow because she's just literally like a fucking ping pong ball. What the fuck?
Was it constant screaming or did it change at all?
She would scream and then kind of sit back and she'd almost be like quiet for a minute. It was like, okay, good. And then she'd start again.
In those quiet times, do you know what, if anything, she was doing?
I didn't know what she was doing that morning, no.
How long did it take to get to Fairview?
I don't know. I'm going to assume maybe 10 minutes, like with the weather, maybe 10 minutes. I'm not, give or take approximately.
As you're approaching 34 Fairview Road, before you get there, is Fairview going to be on your left side, driver's side, or on the right side?
As we're pulling up. It's on the driver's side. Carrie's going to take a left down Fairview off of.
None of this makes any
Why don't you
sense.
take us back to that morning, about 20 or 30 yards before you get to Fairview?
Mhm.
You're in the car with Miss Roberts and the defendant?
Yes.
What's happening in the car?
Karen's is screaming, and at that point, she had asked if John could be cheating on her, and if John could be
Here we
with
go.
Bella's mom.
And then what happens?
I just didn't know what the hell she was talking about. I was like, "What are you talking about? Why would he be with Bella's mom?" And then Carrie said, "Well, do you think he could have walked to?" There was another woman years before that John had dated who lived on the next street over to her house.
And as you approach that area before you get to the flagpole, does anything remarkable happen?
No.
Okay. What happens next?
As we're driving down the street, I just say to Carrie, because she doesn't know where my sister lives, "Oh, her house is just at the bottom of the street."
Visibility still difficult?
Yes, awful.
What happens next?
We continue, driving, and we're driving slowly past.
You're so right, Marco.
The
You are
line of,
so
bushes
right.
and
Nothing.
the flagpole area, and all of a sudden, Karen's screaming from the back, "There he is," or something to the effect of, "There he is, let me out."
Did you know what she was talking about?
I had no idea.
When she was yelling that, did you look out the window?
Yeah, we had our eyes peeled out the window.
Did you see anything?
Nothing but snow.
How long was she yelling about whatever it is she was saying?
Carrie, she gets out. Carrie looks at me and said something. I said like she's batshit crazy.
Jesus.
Then what happens?
Then Carrie got out. Then I got out of the car, walked around the back of the car, and was walking over to where I could see the girls were.
Now at that point, you were in Kerry Roberts' car.
Yes.
It had its headlights on.
Yes.
Was it facing up the street of Fairview?
Well, we had come down the hill, so yes, up the street.
There was no other lighting in that area?
I do not believe so.
No fire engines or ambulances at that point?
No.
No police cars?
No.
Any street lights?
It was dark.
When you got out of the car, did you look towards the area of the flagpole?
Yes.
Could you see anything at that point?
No.
How close did you get to the area of the flagpole before you could first actually see something?
Well, I saw the shadowy figures of the
Shadowy
Carrie
figures.
had,
Shadowy
and
figures.
It wasn't until I got very close over to them that I saw.
That makes no sense at all. So they're out there with John and you can't see them still because the bright lights aren't on, but she's got fucking tail light on her car. Like, stop it. What? She's just trying to make it seem like it was unusual. That basically is what she's trying to make it seem like. It's perfectly normal to drive right by there and not see a body. That's what she's going for here. It's everything's by design.
Carrie removing the snow from John's face.
Is that the first moment you realized that was John O'Keefe on the ground?
Yes, it was.
Oh, look at it. See, look at her trying to fake holding back the tears.
When you see Carrie removing the snow from John's face,
Look
what
at
do
her.
you do?
Look at her.
I was frozen. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that was him just lying there.
This is so fake.
What you seeing?
So bad.
What do I see?
Look at that. Look at that.
I see Carrie just wiping the snow off. Karen had straddled him and had lifted her shirt and his shirt and was laying on him. And Carrie was screaming at her to get off of him. And I was literally just stunned. And there he was.
What the fuck?
What
Dude,
you
what the fuck? Listen to that. Just watch this shit.
look like when
on him, and Carrie was screaming at her to get off of him.
Look at this.
I was literally just stunned. I mean, there
Just oh, what a psychopath. Oh,
was.
What did John look like when you saw him?
I couldn't see much but his face because the rest was snow and Karen was moving over him, but he just looked like just him, but just like frozen.
What did you do?
At first, I just stood there for a minute because I couldn't believe it was him. And then Carrie Roberts and I made eye contact, and I knew. I was like, all right, I'm going to call 911. But I think I knew in that moment that John, was dead.
Oh my God. I can't with her. Fucking psycho. Fucking psycho.
Did you call 911?
Yeah, I started to call 911, and Carrie and Karen were just screaming. And so I walked back towards Carrie's car, and then Carrie was also yelling at me to go to the back of the car to look for blankets and towels. So as I was calling 911, I was at the back of the car looking for the towels and the blankets to bring over to Carrie. And while I was doing that, I believe 911 answered.
Did you speak to 911?
I did, yes.
Did you get the towels and blankets that Carrie had requested?
I did, yes.
After your phone call with 911 and you had the towels and blankets, tell us what happens next.
So after I called 911, I went back over to Carrie, Karen, and John. And at that point, Carrie asked if I would take over compressions. So she got up and I started doing compressions, and Karen was doing mouth to mouth.
So this is new. This is new. She's also a hero. She tried saving his life. Right.
When you started doing compressions, were you touching John over his clothes or touching his skin?
I don't remember.
Did you at that point get a chance to touch John's body and see how it felt temperature-wise?
I just remember when I was doing the compressions, I don't really know how to explain it. It just felt very funny.
I'm sorry, very
It just wasn't like normal. I don't. I can't think of how to describe the way it felt when I was trying to press down, but it was like resistance.
How long did you try to give compressions and give aid to John for?
Until the police came.
Mr. Brennan, why don't we end here?
Until the police came? I don't remember a single firefighter or paramedic saying that she was doing compressions. Like, anyway, this is all going to get exposed tomorrow. You better believe that. Alan Jackson was sitting there in a split screen taking notes about every fucking word she's saying. You better believe that man has dissected her entire fucking testimony and is ready to fuck tomorrow. Because we're at the end of this. I mean, how much longer is there for her testimony? We've gotten all the Jen McCabe shit. All she's got to talk about now is, like, you know, Karen saying, she's going to say that Karen said I hit him. That's coming real soon. And then she's going to talk about just what she did after that. It's normal stuff. Whatever it is, it's all normal. Everything's normal with Jen. But all right, cool. Let me read some turtle chats and we'll call it a night. It's a late one. Holy shit. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to try to bang through these as much as I can, as fast as I can, because it's late. Okay. $10 for, have I read this one? Swing and a Whiffin Springer sends $10 and goes, longtime listener, first time turtle chatter. I heard the infamous Bella's mom was in the house this week, but I never saw her face. No, she wasn't there. I think we went over this. Ashley Brady, we showed her earlier. Thank you very much. So there's that, sends $10 and says, I wish they had asked Whiffin what benefit is there to Cellbrite to change the software so it only shows a timestamp for the tab created instead of the individual search times. I know. That's a good question. Why would they do that? Thank you. So there's that. No, I already read that one. Shelly sends $5 and goes, funny how Matt heard Karen screaming outside his house, but Brian and family heard nothing. Well, they're going to say Matt was awake by then. So Morgan sends $5 and goes, how did you get word yesterday that Jen McCabe was going to testify today? Does the media get a heads up before us? Well, I saw that she was at the, she was parked at the DA's office this weekend. That's how I knew. So there's that. And the media does not, but I got sauces. Let's just put it that way. And they have to give me a heads up because I have to know when I can't be there. Like, I'm not going to drive in from Worcester if I can't be in the courtroom, which I can't be for the McAlberts. So thank you. Brent Mack sends $50 and goes, how did Karen know her taillight was cracked? When on the call? She didn't. She did not tell them that. That's a lie. Thank you. Natalie sends $10 and goes, I cannot believe the cowardice of these people. I live in Kentucky, about an hour from where the sheriff shot the judge, but he didn't try to cover it up. He manned up and said they were after my family, but didn't deny it. Well, he was on video. He was on video. These fucking cowards. Not that John O'Keefe was after them. I fact Higgins was after his girl. Exactly, Natalie. Michael sends $10, goes, from Ian Whiffin's website, essentially the last viewed time value could be before or after the actual time of the URL visit, making his testimony utterly unreliable. So does this mean all of his data is meaningless? Yes, Michael, it does. Nicole sends $10, goes, there's no way Karen would be able to murder her boyfriend, then speed away like a race car driver while at the same time leaving voicemails while driving that we've all heard and get to his house in less than 5 minutes. Great point, Nicole. Caesar sends $10, goes, LOL, Jen is pathetic and a scumbag. Also, can you imagine? I can imagine Brian Walsh is looking forward to debunking 𝗬𝗏 now. I love the collab with AV Man. Nice seeing local creators. Shout out from Lowell. Well, thank you, Caesar. She invited me on her show, and I enjoyed my time. So thank you, sir. Sarah sends $25, goes, second comment. I love you. Now, tell us what's in your Stanley. It's just water. I have iced coffee early on, and then I drink water, and I stay hydrated. Thank you. Johanna sends $10, goes, as a certified forensic nurse and a medevac nurse for 10 years, how they are trying to say anything other than an assault is beyond me. It's just crazy. It really is. Courtney sends $10, goes, on behalf of Karen, I'd like to clarify that Jen McCabe and Karen are not the same age. Jen is 4.5 years older, so fuck off, Jen. Don't be adding digits to our girl. You're an evil cunt. It's true. They're not the same age. They didn't even go to high school together. Nicole sends $5 and goes, you'll be happy to know that some of the jurors are visibly not having any of Jen's shit. Jess Machado tweeted their reactions, and there were some eye rolls. Jen, you're not in Canton, and we all see through the facade. That's why Jess is great to have in there. Great reporter. Thank you. Holly sends $25 and goes, Bev is a sad excuse for a female judge. It's quite clear that she earned her title to rule the bench, not because she's a strong or smart woman, but rather because she sucks good dick. Don't know about that, but too bad she'll always be in a corrupt man's shadow and can't make an honest decision to dismiss this case. By the way, Jen added an extra KR, said she broke her taillight. That way her story didn't change. She just forgot to mention the early confessions of breaking her taillight. Such an ugly, evil cunt. I don't know how she sleeps. Well, thank you, Holly. It's a great point. Lena sends $5 and goes, hi from the UK. Did you watch the behavior panel where body language experts broke down Jen on the stand in the first trial? It's well worth a watch. Please give a shout out to my mom, Debbie, who found out today her cancer is now under control. Oh, so happy to hear that, Debbie. She is a new turtle rider. God bless you, doctor, and good luck for tomorrow. Well, thank you, Lena, and God bless your mother. Allie sends $10 and goes, I was on replay crew last night. Yesterday was my first birthday without my dad. I'm sorry, Allie. My dad wrote me letters every birthday, and they now mean more than any gift. Well, you heard my thing last night about the letter to my daughter. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing that story. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Nick T sends $10 and says, Jen looks like a plastic Halloween skeleton from the store with the wig on it. How the fuck did Maddie Phelps describe her as fit and attractive? Jesus Christ, that's a good question. Well, Maddie Phelps is also a weirdo, so. Jason sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, did you happen to catch the interview of the longtime neighbor of 34 Fairview who did come out of the house and doesn't believe Karen Reed and hit John and is not a fan of the Alberts? I did. I played it on the show the other day. That guy was great. Thank you. Mish sends $10, goes, I feel like the lie about the Jeep was manufactured in case they needed to frame Higgins. Man, there are several comments that he was the first to leave, and there are mentions of maybe John was hit by a plow. Maybe. After all, he's not family. And but he knows what happened, so that's not going to work. Peter sends $10, goes, what do you call a famous turtle? A celebrity. Oh, I see what you did there. Tim sends $5, goes, fuck Hank Brennan and Jen McCabe. Goddamn clown show. Fucking disgrace. Amen, brother. Danielle sends $25, goes, imagine Mr. Ed to Steven Tyler. Yeah, that's what Jen McCabe looks like. Aunt Jemima sends $10, goes, Daddy, you are hot shit on a silver platter. Well, thank you. Hanks Brennan is cold diarrhea in a cup, and Jen McCabe is a cunt. I love you. Well, thank you, Aunt Jemima. Lena sends $5, goes, another lie. Jen just said she had to call someone from Karen's number. If Karen just called her, she wouldn't have had her number on her phone now because they called from Kaylee's phone number, Lena. So thank you. Sandy sends $10, goes, the fact that Jen McCabe thinks it's typical for parents in their 50s to be at an after party till 1:30 with a bunch of teenagers and then going home and texting people at 2 a.m. while your husband snacks in the kitchen says how atypical these clowns are. Amen. None of this is normal. Like, that's not that atypical people don't go out and get shit-faced. and get snowed in. And just, it's so true. It's so true. This isn't normal. Laura sends $25 and goes, cross tomorrow. Hold on, or maybe don't. Just let go. Jen is going to entertain. It is going to be fucking phenomenal. I agree. Thank you. No more turtle chats. Cash App's here. Let's bang through some of these. Nancy sends $25 and says, no 𝗲𝗏 tonight. I mean, it's 12:33. It's 12. I mean, I talked about 𝗲𝗏 earlier in the night. It was real brief with Bev. She's full of shit. She was going to allow him the whole time. She's just being a cunt. Thank you, Nancy. Maggie sends $5 and goes, does Jen have a lawyer? Yes. Kevin Reddington, one of the most prolific criminal defense attorneys, the kind of guy you hire when you're guilty and you need a good attorney. So there's that. Holly sends $10, goes, for shot mentioned because Karen Reed shown dark one. I don't know what that means, Holly. Thank you. Just a Tune LLC sends 20 and goes, what's the over-under on Jen saying 𝗏𝗏𝗆 again? It was actually Julie that said it. So, and I'd say 10% this time. She's too cognizant of it. Chris CMC sends $5, goes, Jen got sworn in at 227. The universe has spoken. It's so true. Michael sends $1 and says, I sent the turtle chat, but not sure if you got it. Yeah, I read it, Mike. Thank you. Terry sends, you have a very distinct name, so I remember yours. Terry sends, I know I already read the one. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Anyway, it is a goddamn late show. Freaking every night we're doing this. Every night. Same time tomorrow. And god damn it, we're going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow, aren't we, folks? God damn, aren't we? So it's fucking time tomorrow, man. Time to get some sleep. Brush your teeth. Take care of yourself. Go to sleep. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow for the fucking. All right? Peace to your bum crease.
It calls for data including calendars, alerts, reminders, notes, text messages, pictures, or videos from April 1st, 2023 through and including October 5th, 2023. 7 months.